Okay, hey guys, welcome to the live. Um, second one I guess today. I've been making videos and then I was watching Tom. And I swore I was like, Tom, you got like 50 minutes, bud. Then I hear him say about an hour and 9 minutes left, and I'm like, you know what? Come on over, guys. We like JLR. Come on over, you guys. Let's have some food and some drinks and talk true crime. Hey, Adam, you there? You
Yeah,
hiding?
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I had a little
Oh,
sneezing fit right when it hit one. I was like, oh,
well, that's because Charmaine came in and all of a sudden it was like, right? Yeah, anyways, you guys, thank you guys for coming to the live. We're going to be talking about Elvis Fields tonight, but we are going to take a moment for a couple of things, actually. We're going to take a moment for Judge Fran Gull, and regardless of your feelings about her, please be respectful, and prayers to her health and any stress and stuff that she must be going through. You know how it is, the body wants to do its own thing, and it's probably stress out, and I'm sure the age doesn't help there either. But either way, prayers to Judge Fran Gull, and also in remembrance, of course, of the Flora girls that lost their lives. Whoops, um, five. Is it? Is it? No,
it was before Delphi. It was 7 years.
yeah.
It was 2016.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
So what? Family mourns on 5 year anniversary. When
yeah,
was this? This is. I thought the date on this thing like literally popped up. Oh yeah, we're not watching that one, people.
right.
Yeah, forget that.
It's
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, before we get over to that,
yeah.
let's.
I wonder how the walk went that they did on the 19th for the Florida girls, because I know they like Randy Gravitt. They did one of his walks for they did one for the Florida girls on the 19th.
Mm, okay. Yeah, you're right about that. I was playing around because I figured I'm not going to go have a nap because of whatever. So I made two Christmas mugs and I kept them really cheap. The profit here, you guys, is $4. One is the North. I'm going to click on it so you guys can see it better, to be honest with you. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. Can you see this? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's called Northern Lights Christmas. Okay. It's the Northern Lights. And it's a crime and shame. And then, of course, whoops, where is it? I gotta find the right.
Is my picture on it?
No, yeah, you're a gingerbread cookie. Or no, there you are. You're a little gnome with a little heart cookie.
I'm about as sweet as one.
Yeah, on there. So this is like the Northern Lights up top in the background. But anyways, it's just a cute one. But this is the one that was for you, Adam. You just hold on. Actually, who just would appreciate this one? To be honest with you, it says, "My mug's ugly. You're ugly. Deal with it." Yeah. Uh, I I figured who dis would love that, you know.
Yeah. Instead of the ugly Christmas sweater, you can have the ugly
Well,
Christmas mug.
that was it. It has the ugly Christmas sweater on it, and a Christmas tree and Santa. So I figured one kind of nice one and one kind of whatever one. Not that they sell, you guys. This is more of a fetish because I love creating stuff, whether it's certain videos and different things. I just like or painting. I was sure. Actually, hold on. Do I have one of that? Actually, now that I'm oh, let me just see here. Stop screen for a sec. Um, oh, it's too bad I don't have. No, I always forget how to share this thing. Um, this one, but where is it? It's like, oh, there it is. So these are. That's like a little Christmas village one with a few people, and you know what? Not gonna lie. That Christmas tree is amazing, people. Okay, I know you can't see it like it is because it's a painting, but that Christmas tree, like that was probably my best darn Christmas tree ever. But I have one with a big Scrooge face right in the front of it as well. I don't know. I just do whatever. I like landscapes kind of and whatever, like Bob Ross and stuff like that. Those are always good to do. But
Did you say
anyway,
Did you say Bob Rossi? Okay.
no, Bob Ross. Yeah, 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 right. So let me just sorry guys, let me just quickly find um I because I thought that I had the Flora one for this year. Apparently I was wrong. Um so Flora uh, Um, do. Let's see. No, come on. There's gotta be one like. Why is it when I'm looking hard? Adam, why don't you just love me and find me an article? Because I swear to God, sometimes I swear on the Canadian side, I get things like I said 9 months ago. No, come on now. Anyways, um, I'll say hello to some people. These are we stole all Tom's people, and some of them are just loyal to us instead. And don't forget, you guys, for every donation, the Tom song goes off. I'm pretty sure he's probably heard it, but he's gonna ignore it for a while. That's my unless of course he's just been too busy for us. But I can't really see that to be honest with you. So let's see here. Uh, you guys hear anything in the background? Is my husband swearing as he's gaming? Sharon Parker, hello. Rob Lee, hello. Gail Hurd, double hello. She likes the intro too. It's a little pick me upper, isn't it? CJK's in the house. And it's crime and shame. Hello. Streamlabs always loves you. There's Charmaine. She knows where her love is, don't you, Charmaine? Do. And PJ said, "Hi, PJ. How are you?" There's Trinity. How are you? A shout out to Andrew Rosie. The man is a living legend. He's not hard on the eyes. Okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go. I mean, I would really like to see him in court, considering they've said how he's very got like these antics that he does. You know, I would really like to watch him um, in a trial, especially this one. To be honest with you, just because of like you said, some people that just kind of go in there, they're boring kind of lawyers, do their thing, and there's other ones that like more like have that drama and gravitate stuff to you.
Is there really not one article like about the anniversary of the fire?
Well, is it you having trouble too?
There's literally the most recent article I'm seeing is from September, where it talks about settlement in the civil case.
Well, okay. So you guys, of course, know who the Flora girls are, the Flora Four, and the house was torn down recently. Gail is the mother. Um, Meow Zen Dog is she covers that case really well, and I think I want to say Jinx as well. Um, but anyways, you guys, so prayers always for the Flora girls, and one day, truly, hopefully, like I don't know, it just seems like all these cases, but eventually, like Karina McClurkin's get solved, and Ray Hanish's is looking like it might be, justice for Ray Hanish and stuff like that, and so prayers for those Flora girls, and that. Uh, well, we had our doubts about Karina McClurkin. Okay. Nah. Uh, yeah. It's all good, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, just because, yeah, I wanted one from this year.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be one tomorrow.
Yeah. Shelly's in the house. WTHR. Sorry, my things are all popping off here. Okay. Hi, little gambler. How are you?
Right. Today's also I know we don't cover this case very often, but it happened in the city I live in. And today's the 1 year anniversary of the little girl that went missing in North Carolina. Her name's Madalena Kojukari.
Oh, Madalena. Yeah.
She's been missing 1 year today.
Yeah. Only because we look at so many cases, but I know that one, I remember when we talked about it, I had looked at that one, but that one's meant a lot to you because it was right in your area where you could literally drive to it. And that, so yeah. And I mean, there's so many cases, it really is very draining. I do look a lot at cases when I'm lying in bed, but I also take time out that I watch some other things as well. But I usually I try to veer off to something that's not so heavy, like Gordon Ramsay and stuff like that, or some of the um I like people like that have shows like Just Nate, Mr. Beast, where they do things and help people out. I love those type of videos where they're helping out the homeless and stuff like that. That means like I just love those things. It's just like sometimes I just sit there and cry. I'm like,
Yeah.
when someone's telling their story. I used to be the
Yeah.
biggest baby,
You
but
know, I went to the Madalena's. I went to her house.
yeah,
God, that was back in January.
yep,
And I thought about covering the case, but um, like I talked about this the other night, but in North Carolina, um, in order to get court documents and stuff, you have to go to the
highly,
courthouse and
yeah.
pay to get them. And so
Oh, right.
every time there's a release with court filings, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to go to the courthouse and pay to have them. So I wait for someone else to put them online.
I know, right? I know, because there's a lot of people out there like chasing paper and like a lot of people like that like purchase these videos and stuff like that. And my pocket, I don't have no pocket. I don't have no deep pockets whatsoever. Because I'm still waiting for Callie to win us our island, but she couldn't win the lotto baller for life depended on it so far. You'd never 80 million is like the max in Canada, okay? 80 million. You guys get these Super Bowl things that are like that one that was like freaking a billion or something like that.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong, you guys, if you win the lottery here, just so you don't have to pay taxes on it, okay? It's free money. You won it. It's a gift. You guys, that 1 million probably goes down to 550 million in a New York second. Yeah, you don't get taxed on that, but still, we could never have Powerball. That's it, Powerballs or stuff like that. Anyways, so hopefully I said hi to everyone. I saw Lead was in there. There she is. Lead with love. A thing for, I have a thing for Sad Baldwin's cashmere coat. Lead. If we could just talk about cashmere for a second. I had the most amazing when I worked in cosmetics back when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I had the most amazing cashmere skirt. It was pink, baby pink, but it was like a woolly thing. It was so amazing. It was amazing. But I want to tell you one thing. If you ever want good darn clothes, okay, you guys are going to see me live in this shirt here. I got it from the United Kingdom. Okay. Anyways,
I like British. I like
the
British
the
clothes.
clothing is it reminds me of cashmere lead. Okay, like seriously, the clothing is like it has that soft, cozy feeling. They're just good quality. I want to go back to England just to shop because I love their clothes. They're just so comfy and they're so and plus, I remember buying my son these Nike pants for like freaking I know the money's different, but still, they were only like 19.99 UK. And I was like, I wish I would have bought him more, but I wasn't sure if he was gonna like them because they get picky at that age and stuff like that. Hey Shelly, how are you? It's Leed's fault. She got me off track there. Even though she did throw Andy Baldwin's code into the mix. Okay. Okay. So let's Donnie is in the house. Donnie. I'm Marie. Nice to meet you. No, just kidding. Okay. Diana asks, support with Steffa. Do you know her? Isn't that our tree special? Hey, Steffa, what kind of tree's on the screen right now? Hey, what kind of tree is that, Steffa? It's a Christmas tree. It's a Christmas tree. Okay, so Charmaine looks like she got a speech there. I know, Shelley, but that's only because of these issues at the Supreme Court now. Fair trial and due process are imperative in order to absolutely, absolutely.
Why do I feel like Charmaine's got like us on one screen?
I feel like she has both screens. She's like modding in the one.
She's like modding in that
Yeah,
one. She's
you
here
know
modding.
it. Yeah, she's like a little cheating Canadian on me, eh? Yeah. It's like a Bob and Doug's excellent adventure, but there's nothing excellent about trying to, you know,
Oh, you mean Bill and Ted?
there's Bill and Ted too. On there. Oh, you guys got your little cluck day coming up here too on
Thursday.
there. Um oh, sorry. Aspen Connor, any updates on her case?
I answered her in the chat.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna try to ignore her, but there she is. Oh, there's Callie still trying.
Hey,
Not trying hard enough there, Callie girl. Okay. I mean, instead of sitting on a chair right now, I'd be sitting on freaking one of those recliners with a coconut in my hand and some umbrella with a couple of those cherry things coming out of it.
Well, I mean, gosh, you would have traded your husband in for a younger model.
Right? Right? I mean, he is kind of getting old, right? What, 21 difference? I think I need a bit more of a gap right there. No, I left Tom. He's mad at me. Why? Why is he mad at you? I can see that. I can see that. What
Because
did you
she left and came here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sorry, ground control to Major Tom.
I
Um,
did. I did like. I will say. I did like Tom's shirt. Did you see
oh
his shirt?
yeah, but you know what?
His Luther Vandross Detective Agency. I
Yeah,
liked that.
I noticed that. Did you notice his little uh I think like mug or water bottle thing that he had too? But the
His
only
Taco
thing,
Bell one.
no, he has some
Oh,
the
so
same
he's
type of design.
he's promoting his merch now.
Yeah, right. Stud muffin.
He'll
But
be on he'll be on Court TV before we know it.
the next one. But in all
I'm kidding.
fairness, in what was I going to say? Oh, Tom just needs to know that Tom, if you're listening, that they did an update with StreamYards and you can now have moving water, Tom. Just saying, okay? You can have that water flowing right behind your back right there. Just so you know. Minute clip, no problem. Canva for the win. Okay. I left Tom also. Made me. What is it with Tom then? Tom's pissing everybody off. Well, I guess the campaign's over for Tom. Anyone that donates now, I don't know. Sonny, thank you for.
I left too. He didn't acknowledge my name.
I heard it's a crime and shame. Actually, it was so funny because all of a sudden I heard it's a crime and shame. Well, what about Mitch Westerman? And I'm like, dude, I wasn't even actually on your page. I wasn't actually. I only heard you because I was coming back to my computer. But but the question was a little bit different. I think that then that's why I only answered the two names. But we'll forgive him. We'll forgive him. But do. But I bet you Travis is still there. Bet you bet you he's still over there. Let's
Probably.
see, Elvis or, I think he's more Tom's type for that stuff, to be honest with you. Yeah. Okay. So let's, okay. First of all, thank you for all saying that you loved my painting from a couple years ago. I appreciate that. I don't recall seeing even anyone acknowledge it, to be honest with you, but that's fine. I will bring up the document or the 136 page, that piece of art, that creative
I,
piece of art. That's what we're going to bring up. Whoops.
yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna go watch Tom.
Oh, what an a-hole. Okay, let me find it. I think it's, no, is that it? Yeah, that's it right here. I didn't know that you painted Sunny. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I have some really good ones, and then I have my fun ones, and I have my really scenic nature ones. Um, the Christmas tree. No, there's one that I really love. Actually, no, okay. You know what? I'm just okay at painting, but I'm better than a lot of people. Let me just put it that way. But I'm not as good as a lot of people either. Okay, so you guys, we're going to talk about Elvis Fields now. First of all, um, so for the 53 people that are in here, how many people think that, for the most part, and this is just a loose question, how many people think that 136-page memorandum is a crock of shit? One, if you think it's more like a big crock of shit for the most part, or two, if you know that's a pretty good darn story, gives you a bunch of reasonable doubt, or doubt and all that stuff. I don't know, just one crock of shit, two if you like it more, so one of the two. Mm-hmm. One, Callie, that's a little strong, Callie. I would have went for point 0.5, but that's okay. Okay, now, oh, PJ second chance. Always got to be somebody. Donnie, right? Donnie's just putting his age there. That's it. 112. Trinity. Hmm. You going with it, Trinity? Okay. I don't know anything about anything. That's not true, Steffa. You know about a little bit about trees. Yeah, and you that would mean that you know a little bit about the compass as well, northeast, southwest. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, so the majority two needs edited. Okay, well, what do you guys feel about Elvis Fields? Is there anyone here that thinks we kind of did a poll on it yesterday because our live was supposed to be on it yesterday? But anyways, Elvis Fields, just put in just do you feel like that they should look into him more? Or do you think like one if you think they should look into him more, two if you just like, yeah, that's a waste of time right there. So two, well, Elvis was there. Do you think so? Why do you think he was there? Why do you think he was there, little gambler? Well, the prosecutor admitted a lot, and it was true.
Right.
Well. Okay, so let's just talk about this 136-page memorandum for a second here. So let me pose this thought to you guys. Most of you guys won't have to pose it to because you already know. But so the prosecution, right, hands over all their discovery, right? They have, or at least whatever we believe that they have, they've handed it over. The defense looks at it and goes, huh, well, I'm going to use some of the stuff that was given to us, because obviously the way that the girls were laying, the fact that sticks were on them, the facts of certain things are definitely absolutely true. And then there's things that are definitely absolutely not true, but a perception. And that's what they portrayed in a lot of this stuff is a perception. So if do you think that the prosecution is going, you know what? Darn it all, the defense, they nailed it. They nailed it. The whole Odin line, they nailed it, or do you think it's perception? Because you don't see the prosecution going, oh my goodness, those look like, runes, Odin runes. That looks like, so when people say to me, or when I hear people say, well, it has to be factual, it's in there. Yeah, they factually stared at it and went, you know what? Those look like some sticks that are formed in a certain way, and they've gone down this Odin line. Boom. That stands for Odin. That stands for Hail. We don't know what's on Libby. And in fact, we don't really know what's on Abby, but we're going to kind of say that it looks like an asterisk,
And everyone of course is allowed to, think whatever
Yeah,
train of thought they have.
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I think it's important to remember that, in a almost 7 year investigation, I feel like a defense attorney could have taken the same amount of information they probably learned during the investigation about countless other suspects and made just as compelling of an argument if you wanted to create another alternative to Richard Allen being guilty. I think that you could have done it very easily with Ron Logan. You could have done it with Kagan Klein. You could have done it with, I think, countless other people that we know were investigated in this case. This was the route they chose to take with the ex-defense team, but it doesn't mean that law enforcement didn't fully investigate it.
Sex, right? And that's what we're going to talk about too with Elvis Fields, and we'll talk mostly about Elvis Fields tonight, guys. And that just two secs. Adam, do you see a question in there at all? I see Charmaine. She was on a phone, probably talking with Tom.
Support with stuff. I think people are not happy with just being human. They want superpowers. Well, I want superpowers. That would be fun. What would your superpower be, Sonny, if you could pick one?
I already have superpowers.
I forgot we have to talk about the case.
Yeah. I got superpowers anyway. I can read Steffa's mind. I love you too, Steffa. You're welcome. Okay. So, but bottom line is, you guys, at the end of the day of all this stuff, there's no, in a sense, arguing here at all. This is, you guys have your complete right to your opinions here. If it's totally off from what we're saying or thinking, it does not matter. We're just putting out, because this is our channel. So we're just putting out our thoughts to you guys, because you have to have a balanced, of course, way of thinking. You have to look at it from this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. And that's what we try to do. And I would think that you guys do that too, and not just hold straight on one thing for sure. We don't know what's going to happen, for instance, with Fran Gall or with the Sixth Amendment or with any of that until it actually happens. So people might say, well, she's breaking the Constitution and all this stuff. But the thing is that even the lawyers still don't know what's going on, like, for sure, because this isn't precedented. And maybe she is, maybe she's not. Maybe there's that little twist and turn that will come about it. Maybe it won't.
Right.
But
And
we'll
also
find
remember,
out soon enough.
the prosecution is not. They cannot go out and respond to all of these things. They can't present their case in the public arena the way that defense lawyers can a little bit more. So we have seen nothing that the prosecution has to rebut any of this, other than what we've seen in a few filings where they called it lies. But we don't have all of the evidence. We don't have all of the information, and I don't think we will for the next the next year.
Adam, I want you to tackle this one. So Tammy Martin says, Purdue and Harvard professors aren't making things up, are they? Well, the thing is that, again, it's kind of like you have,
I think that I feel like their report can still be
correct.
easily left up to interpretation, because I feel like some of the things they said were very vague, as far as they said, well, this is not this, but it could be someone mimicking it.
So let's just say the prosecution.
And I'd have to reread them, to be honest. Give a full assessment.
I was going to say, I would have had a better answer if I went back and read that, but I'm not doing that right now. But I'll say this: if prosecution says, "Hey, you know what? This Purdue professor said that no, he did not believe it had anything to do with Odinism, but maybe it was meant to look like that," and then the defense says, "Nope, the professor says this." So to me, it's kind of like, okay, well, somebody's not accurate there, or maybe it both turns out to be true. But do you know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, well, defense is right and prosecute is wrong. If somebody's telling two different things in a sense, then obviously there's somebody right and wrong. But I'd have to go back to that myself again. I remembered it a lot better about 3 weeks ago when I was reading it all on there.
10,000 documents ago.
But the bottom line is for me personally, I just don't understand how people keep saying, well, they have to tell the truth in there. Well, the thing is that their truth and the prosecution's truth, like with the pictures, are two different things. Does that mean that they're wrong? No, the defense is thinking that those are following the Odin line, and their perception is, okay, that these pictures look like runes. But they couldn't. You have to think, right? Okay, well, they couldn't make anything out of Libby's runes. So what is that? Let alone they're making an F tree that's not even an F tree. It might look like an F, but it's not even connected like an F. But when you look at it visually, your brain says that. Abby, okay, same thing. So they one of the things that they screwed up on so bad was calling that F tree, first of all, that it meant Odin. Doesn't mean Odin, and it doesn't mean wealth. That so-called F is more like they're going this way. And it's not even that it's an F, but they took it and they said it meant Odin. Wrong right there. And I can show you some more things in here where they're making it seem like there's something there. I'll go back to page 67 in a while, guys. But my point is this. The 136 page, it's got definitely facts in there about certain things, and then a lot of it is speculation on their part. Do you think that Brad Holder is a big freaking idiot that after all these years would go, you know what? I'm going to leave up all that evidence on my Facebook. I'm not going to remove the hanging man from the tree. I'm not going to remove the fact that I'm into Odinism. I'm not going to do anything. You think any brainiac with two brain cells would leave their stuff up on Facebook? But because of, again, their whole connection, remember, they said it was a work of art, a work of art. Granted, they took it, but that's perception. That's not fact. What in anything connects Brad Holder to the crime scene? What connects him at all to the crime scene? What connects Richard Allen? Well, we could sit there and say a few things that connect Richard Allen because it came right out of his mouth.
Right.
There's a whole different story. Now, Elvis over here. So let's get on to. Well, the thing is that when people, it does irk me, but only irks me because I don't understand how people don't see. Some people don't seem to get this. That this is laid out in the perception and facts, but a lot of it is perception of what they feel happened. You think when they were talking about how actually Libby and Abby, and then all of a sudden this person goes over to the tree after they laid all their sticks, how would they have a clue about that? Do they know that that was the last move that the BG made, that they just went over to the tree? I highly doubt that. The blood's over there, the bodies are over here, type of thing. So it's just stuff like that. That doesn't mean that's fact. That is not fact. That is them perceiving and giving somebody an interpretation of what they are
Right.
trying to project in their Richard Allen is innocent. And
Right.
it's the thing is that it's not fact. But the fact that the girls were lying there with sticks in a certain spot, that's fact. The fact that Abby was wearing the swimming black
Well,
top and whatever, that's fact. Go
right.
ahead.
I mean, and I mean, how many court cases have I don't know. I watch a lot of court cases, but how many court cases have people watched where in the opening statements in a trial, the defense team, and I'm not saying that this is true, but the defense team in so many trials always says things like, the state has no evidence tying my defendant to this crime scene. There's no this, there's no that. Even if it's then presented at trial, they still say it. And they can get away with it because sometimes they can say, "Oh well, we have an expert that says this isn't evidence enough tying them to it."
Right. But a lot of this whole thing is a lot of what it's almost like, what if Brad Holder, what if Elvis, well, so if
Right.
Elvis knew Brad Holder. But anyways, let's get into the Elvis. We're going to kind of read through it, guys. That's the kind of the whole point. um
Let's not do that again.
Maybe hard to accomplish in broad daylight. Perhaps they were in a hurry. Maybe the perps were trying to replicate Rune's Odinist in training. Perhaps, Tammy, exactly, perhaps. um, right? Um, I don't believe those. Okay, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Okay, I have seen the pictures now. I have seen fully the pictures. There is no antlers on Abby's head. So for anyone that thinks that there's antlers there, I don't know, where that even came from. There's no antlers on Abby's head. So Elvis had said that. And that was one of their biggest things. So when we get to that part, okay, then we will talk about that because that was one of the things that he said. Now, at what time? Does anyone know what time Elvis told on the February the 14th, supposedly, that he told his sister about um, this whole, perhaps
Right.
spitting and horns in that? Okay,
Right.
Adam,
And
do you got it up? Do you want to start reading?
I don't know. I don't have it up.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see here. Let me go to.
Honestly, I don't even know where I don't even know where I have that now.
Well, all you have to do really is type in 136 page or whatever. Um. Well, I guess I have it, don't I? Just trying to see what. Oh, there. It's in this tab here.
I'm gonna find it real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with this part. I know that they talk about Elvis above, guys, but with the Brad Holder stuff, but we're just going to start here. So, Elvis Fields' connection to the crime scene. The defense has previously discussed and presented the side by side photos that demonstrate that Elvis was mimicking Brad Holder by taking the time to recreate Holder's Facebook posts. Elvis would then post the recreated Facebook posts. What else did Ferenczi, and Ferenczi's the officer that got killed by the correction officer and like was targeted, okay, so that's the one that lost his life, that was looking into the whole odinism or ritualistic thing. So Click and Murphy unearthed in their investigation that would connect Elvis to the crime scene. The Odin report provides much of that connective tissue. I now I'm now part of a gang and have a brother. So on page 1 of the Odin report, Mary Jacobs told law enforcement that on February 14th, 2017, Elvis was rambling, hyper, and borderline incoherent. He was talking about having a brother, even though Elvis has no male siblings, was now part of a gang. Elvis told Mary that he had been on the bridge with the 2 girls that were killed. Elvis told her that someone named Abigail was a pain in the ass and a troublemaker. Okay, so far that's just third hand information. She said Elvis tried to give her, Mary Jacobs, a blue jacket. She told him that she had her own. Okay, makes you raise your eyebrow a little bit, perhaps. After Elvis made these statements to his sister Mary Jacobs, she later became aware of the Delphi murders and put 2 and 2 together. Sometime 2 to 3 weeks after Elvis made the statements, Mary Jacob and her husband Troy drove to Delphi. So hold on a second. So sometime 2 to 3 weeks after Elvis made the statements, Mary Jacobs and her husband Troy drove to Delphi. Well, in Delphi, I think they meant to put Mary Jacobs, not March Jacobs. Oh, okay. So Mary Jacobs talked to law enforcement about the things Elvis had told her on February 14th of 2017. Now, that would be obviously very important what time that was told, because obviously the girls were found on February 14th. Has there ever been a time ever stated when it comes to Elvis Field telling his sister that, you guys? And sorry if I can't see chat right now because I'm just on the back part of
Yeah.
this. Um, okay, so where are we at here? So February 14th, but due to the mass amount of tips that were generated, her information may have been overlooked. The defense has requested that the prosecutor locate the tip sheet that contains accurate details as to exactly when Mary Jacobs and her husband visited the law enforcement officials in Delphi and what was communicated during the visit. Unfortunately, this is yet another piece of evidence that the defense has not received. Okay, so then we got those little notes there. This unredacted intake sheet with Delphi double homicide written at the top of the page is attached to this memorandum and marked as Exhibit 90. Okay, so that's the exhibit. Um, if my spit is found on the girls, but I can explain it away, would I still be in trouble? Why do I picture that as someone just, like I don't know nothing about Elvis Fields. The only one thing I've actually heard about Elvis Fields is that he's not mentally capable. Like he like portrays like he's 8 or 9. People say.
Well, we'll read that, and that'll be. I think that's in this.
In the document here. Oh,
Yeah.
right, you're right. Because I did read it, but you're right. Let's see. So in December 2018, Mary Jacobs enlisted the help of an old acquaintance of hers named Misty Moore. Since law enforcement had not followed up with Mary Jacobs from earlier in the year when she drove to Delphi and described what Elvis had told her. Mary was still concerned that Elvis was involved in the murders, but nothing was being done about it. Misty Moore worked for Homeland Security out of Greenfield, and Mary was hoping Misty could assist in locating someone from law enforcement to become interested in Elvis Fields. Mary talked to Misty Moore, who then passed the information on to the proper law enforcement channels. And well, we know how much far that goes as well, don't we? In January 2018, Mary was interviewed, And on February 1st of 2018, state police gave Mary Jacobs a polygraph test to determine whether Mary was being truthful about Elvis had told her almost a year earlier. Mary passed the polygraph test. So all we have so far is a whole lot of nothing, besides the fact that if my brother came to me and told me about obviously the two girls on the day after, the day that they were found, and said stuff, would I be would I raise my eyebrow and be like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden you find out that this happened. But the thing is that we would have to know a time, first of all. Okay. And there is no time. And honestly, uh, going with gut, my own gut, just this whole Elvis person. Well, first of all, if he spit on the girls or one of the
It'd be
girls,
DNA.
there's going to be DNA. There's going to be a DNA on a leaf around it. Spray. There's going to be DNA. No one walked over there with a freaking jug of Clorox and whatever. Da, 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 da. There would have been DNA. To me, that whole statement is that's almost like someone that's like not quite there. That's going, so by the way, what if I did spit on the girls and I could explain it? Well, what could you explain? Obviously, away. You couldn't explain shit away. If you were on the bridge and you could spit on the girls, there's pretty much no explaining it away, especially if you're saying that there's little antler ears and stuff like that. Now, should have been true, it would have probably been a different story. Then he would have definitely had to have some knowledge. So, where did they come up with these antlers? So far to me, there's, you know, Mary's going to pass a polygraph test because if I said to you, you guys, I just, whatever, smacked at him so hard through the computer that I freaking made him turn around in his chair. And I told you that, well, obviously it's true if I'm telling you that because what do you have to base that on? Just the truth that I'm saying to you. So it's neither here nor there that Mary passed the test whatsoever, but it is confirming that Elvis had said to her on February 14th at some point that Elvis would have said these things to her. That's what it would have proved, but nothing more than just confirming back what Elvis had said. So now let's see. I think I just got. Did you find it, Adam? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just finish off this page, and then we'll talk about it, whatever's, and then we'll go to you after that.
Okay.
If that's okay. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? Mary Jacobs polygraph test. Okay, so more on that later. Based upon Mary Jacobs had told law enforcement in June, and at the end of this, too, guys, we'll discuss it more. So, okay, it's just really hard to try to do this and then see a bunch of questions at the same time. Enforcement in January 2018, and based upon Mary Jacobs passing the polygraph in February 2018, law enforcement interviewed Elvis on February 27th of 2018. This interview was videotaped, but the defense team just received this videotape September 8th of 2023. Jerry Holman from Unified Command conducted this interview of Elvis. Kevin Murphy was also present during the interview. Elvis agreed to take a mouth swab, obviously to give his DNA. Oh, look at that. No DNA found at the crime scene of his. That would be used for DNA. Jerry Holman and Kevin Murphy, both with the state police, explained the purpose of the mouth swab with Elvis so that he was aware about the DNA from his mouth swab would be compared to any DNA from the crime scene. At the conclusion of the interview, Trooper Murphy dropped Elvis off at his trailer and described on page 1 of the Odom report after Elvis exited the police vehicle and walked towards the trailer, Elvis turned around before entering his house and walked back to Trooper Kevin Murphy. And that's when Elvis came near the squad car and said, Elvis posed the question to Murphy, what would happen if Elvis's spit is found on one of the girls, but Elvis, has an explanation? Would he still be in trouble? And then Elvis then walked back to the trailer. And then the footnote says, let's see, 12253 is attached as Markade 91 and filed convict. I'm going to take it that as those are pictures. It details, details the circumstances surrounding how Misty Moore became involved. Okay, which we basically heard. Okay, so, hey, Frankie, what's up? Okay.
Hey, Frank.
So,
I'm sorry.
oh no, well, I was just gonna say, up until this point, Do you have anything to say? You guys, we will come back to you on this. Um, do you have anything that you wanted to input before you read?
Um, I mean, no, not really.
We don't know if Spit was at the crime scene. What?
Someone had stated earlier that they found that there was spit on Abby, which I've not heard that.
If there was Spit on Abby, okay, someone would be in prison right now
Right.
for
Well,
the
I mean,
murder.
if they, well, I mean, not necessarily Sunny. If they couldn't match it to
Well,
someone,
well, I guess it, but no, but no. But Elvis said he
what?
spit. So
Right,
that's the only spit we've ever heard about. So granted, there could be spit, but they don't have whatever. But we're talking about Elvis on this case. Elvis
right,
saying that he spat on the girls. So there would be DNA. Like there just simply would be DNA.
right.
Um, so Elvis is going to get ruled out by me pretty darn quick because
And how did he get there?
yeah, well, we'll go ahead and read and then we'll get into it. I just said, I know that people keep talking about Elvis Fields, and a lot of people keep going, but he said this, he said that. Great. The crime scene pictures tell otherwise when it comes to the antlers. And what that was one of the biggest things. There ain't no antlers, people. Okay. Unless you freaking imagine those antlers growing off of Abby's head, pretty much there's no antlers. There's a couple twigs. Okay. Where when somebody, but there's twigs like you would walk on the ground. It's just that probably some twigs or a twig was kind of like thrown like with some leaves and a
Bro.
twig, and one of them landed on her head, or maybe one fell on her head from overnight, who knows. But there's nothing that's any way, shape, or form looking like any nothing. No antlers, no horns. Okay, I can guarantee you that for anyone
And
that's not seen the pictures.
and we can talk about it later. But I mean, I think it's interesting to me that so many people um, are very adamant about the fact that we have to take this that he's confessed to his sisters seriously. But at the same time,
Mm.
the same people are saying that we should disregard the the confessions of Richard Allen to his wife and mother. So I'm like, how can you have both? Like, how can you like, no, we have to look into the Elvis Fields one and take them seriously, but no, we can't. Everyone should just ignore the Richard Allen ones.
You know, I, I I feel with Alvin Fields, the majority of people are saying because again, I mean, to me, it's kind of like, hey, Watson, this isn't rocket science here. But I think a lot of people would like a deeper dive. But the thing is that no one knows how much diving they did into Elvis to exclude him, and
Exactly.
that's why he's not. But people here are acting, a lot of people, not saying here, guys, I just mean in general, are acting like, yeah, they need to do a deeper dive. You don't think, honestly, that if somebody said that they spit on him and this and that and he was there, that after all these years, you think that they would be capable of at least, being able to dig a lot further than what we're knowing about?
Well, and remember, like Charmaine said, same goes for the opposite side, and that's absolutely true. That's one. But the only information we have about the investigation that was done into this whole Onanism thing, or um, Elvis or Brad Holder, all comes from the defense team. So we don't have a full picture of the investigation that happened into that. So they may have looked into Elvis very seriously. I mean, they
Absolutely.
interviewed his sister 3 times. That to
That's
me
just
is
something.
was an in-depth look into him.
I think there was definitely some mistakes made, but I would like to think that they're not 90% incompetent versus, that there's definitely been, some definitely F ups throughout this whole case. But, it's just that, again, if somebody comes saying about the spit and if that would be DNA. If there's no antlers, well, then you just taken away that as well. There is no antlers. Okay.
Well,
That is,
we can keep reading because we can talk
yeah.
about it, but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
um, um,
Uh,
upon hearing this troubling but incriminating comment, Trooper Murphy immediately called Unified Command and communicated with Detective Jay Harper. On August 22, 2018, Elvis's other sister, Joyce Moffett, was interviewed by law enforcement officers Kevin Murphy and Greg Ferenczi. On 2 previous occasions, Joyce had denied that Elvis had made incriminating statements to her. However, in this 3rd interview, Joyce reluctantly recounted to Ferenczi and Murphy statements that Elvis had made to her in the fall of 2017. According to Joyce Moffat, sometime in the fall of 2017, Elvis Fields moved in with her, Joyce Moffat, following the death of her boyfriend. Joyce recounted the following statements Elvis made to her in her kitchen of October 2017, at a time when they were living together under the same roof. I am in a lot of trouble. I am going away for a long time. I was on the trail and that bridge with those girls when they were murdered. But there were 2 other people there with me when it happened. I spit on one of the girls after they were killed. Emphasis added. Not only did Elvis make this incriminating statement about going away for a long time and being on the trail when the girls were murdered, but Elvis was confirmed to Joyce that he had indeed spit on one of the girls. Although Elvis reassured Murphy that he, Elvis, would be able to explain the spit, it is unknown at this point if Elvis has provided that explanation. Elvis lied to police, claiming he did not know Johnny Messer, even though Johnny Messer said he not only knew Elvis, but that Elvis was interested in joining Messer and Brad Holder's Vinlander crew. Footnote, unfortunately, this spit comment made by Elvis to Murphy was not recorded, but Elvis did admit at a later interview that he somewhat remembered this comment concerning the spit. Elvis's 2nd interview, June 2018, at the 14 hours, 40-minute mark and 25 seconds?
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow. I hope that's time of day and not length of interview. Murphy Depot, page 24, lines 1 through 9.
That's a long interview he had. That's like literally almost 15-hour interview.
Unredacted, yeah, sorry.
Unless they typoed.
Or unless it's time of day, but I would assume it would be the
No.
on the video.
1,400. Well, it could be, I guess, 1,400 hours. No, but they wouldn't use it. Well, they could, yeah, because with you guys, would that be 1,400 hours then? So like 2 o'clock.
I mean, it could be, but I would think that would be the mark of the video, meaning the length of time. Because if you're playing the video back, you've got to be able to recount when it was said during the recording of the video, not necessarily the time of day it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
Murphy Depot, page 24, lines 1 through 9. Unredacted supplement 542 Joyce Moffat interview marked as Exhibit 64 and filed as confidential. And then ID. In his June 2018 interview, sorry, I feel like I sound really nasally.
You do. You kind of do.
I'm sorry?
You actually do. Are you? Do you need to blow your nose or anything?
No, I think I'm just getting a little bit of a cold or something. Elvis unequivocally denied knowing the recruiter Johnny Messer. However, in his October 28 interview, Johnny Messer tells a different story. In the October 23rd, 2018 interview, Johnny Messer states that Elvis lived with Johnny's uncle Billy Messer. Johnny Messer further states in this interview that he, Johnny Messer, would take firewood to his uncle's home during the winter, and that Elvis was living with Billy Messer. Most importantly, Johnny mentions that Elvis's boss and self-described father figure, Ned Smith, and Elvis's roommate, Rod Abrams, are all interested in joining Johnny Messer's Vinlander Club. Remember, Brad Holder was also affiliated with that club. However, Johnny Messer claims that the Vinlanders would not be interested in the likes of Elvis, Rod Abrams, and Ned Smith. The importance of Elvis lying to police about knowing Johnny Messer cannot be understated. Elvis had to know that if he, Elvis, was connected to Johnny Messer, then he, Elvis, would eventually be connected to Brad Holder. It should again be noted that it is interesting that Ned Smith pursued an attorney for Elvis, and that Ned Smith wanted to sit in on Elvis's October 28 interview with police. In doing so, Ned was able to learn what types of questions were being asked of Elvis and provided Ned the ability to end the interview if Elvis started saying anything incriminating to Elvis, Ned, or Rod Abrams. The person who wanted to sit next to Elvis at the interview and had previously paid for an attorney for Elvis is the same Ned Smith that, according to Johnny Messer, wanted to join Brad Holder's Vinlander crew. And then I'll read the footnotes really quick. Elvis's June 2018 interview approximately at the 15-hour.
Yeah, so they're definitely at 15 hours plus.
Attached at Exhibit 92. This denial is important as it is evidence that Elvis knew that a connection with Johnny Messer would connect him to Brad Holder. All this information can be found in Johnny Messer's October 23rd, 2018 interview, beginning at the 14-hour, 19-minute mark. So maybe it is time of day, because so Johnny Messer had a 14-hour interview.
After I'm looking at that, I'm like, there's probably no way that they kept that guy like 15 hours. It's probably more the time mark of the military time.
This video taped interview has been copied onto a flash drive and marked as Exhibit 93 and provided to the court staff. ID. And then in Supplement 523, on June 28, 2018, attorney Jill Gonzalez contacted Trooper Jay Harper and informed Harper that Elvis would not be taking a polygraph pursuant to her advice. Trooper Harper told the attorney that if Elvis refused to take the polygraph, that Elvis could not be excluded as a witness and would always possibly be under consideration as a person of interest. Then, in spite of his claims that Elvis would continue to be a person of interest, Harper ended the report by indicating that no further at this time will be conducted regarding Elvis Fields. In other words, Harper was talking out of both sides of his mouth, telling the attorney that Elvis would continue to be a suspect, but then closing the book on Elvis by stating that there was nothing further to do at this time. Supplement 523 narrative is marked as Exhibit 94 and attached to this memorandum.
Just finish off that last sentence, sir.
I read it already.
Oh, you did? Oh, at the interview and had previously paid for attorney? Okay. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Okay. So let's stop there for a minute here. Okay. On there. So let's see here. Well, that was eye-opening. Which one? Was it here or was it over in Tom's, Travis? Was that one eye-opening? Or is this one making your eyes bulge open on there? Hey, Travis. Let's see. Alleged. So first of all, my thoughts on this one. Probably Elvis lied and probably knows whatever, was probably trying to be part of something because he's probably not part of much. He's probably trying to be. He probably lied. He probably does know of Brad Holder, knows Brad Holder. To me, still, I'm at a 0 point care level there of 0 because Brad Holder, in my eyes, like I said, any fool, there's nothing to attach Brad Holder to the crime scene. And no idiot is going to leave up their whole Facebook those entire years without taking stuff down. Brad Holder, and I've talked to the dude a little bit, very little. He doesn't really talk much, but bottom line is that there's no attaching. Okay. And just like Elvis. So there's no DNA. He didn't take a polygraph. It sounds like, to me, Elvis, so if he does have the mentality of what people are saying, that would probably go with these games that he's playing, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, to me, that's just someone's trying to take credit in a sense, but I don't know his mental stability. But I mean, obviously, if they reference like that he has like a child's more brain when they're talking to him, I'm pretty sure it would be easy to know if somebody's brain, like if their marbles are all there or not.
And you also have to remember, he might have said 10,000 things that did not match anything about the crime scene.
Right.
Of course, the defense, if they're trying to go for this Odinist Brad Holder angle, they're not going to include that in this memorandum. So we're reading a very curated, specific piece of information that was taken from these interviews, the discovery. To support the memorandum they're writing. They're not going to include the stuff that, there could be.
Of course not.
That doesn't support it.
Exactly. And that's people forget too, is that they're not going to stick one iota of anything in there that's going to show Ari's guilt to anything.
It's like when people, when there's remember in Idaho, people always want to they always want to solve a case, but we only have a certain amount of information. Yeah. So it's like, when the Idaho case happened, everyone was looking at the suspects within the defined list of people that we knew of. So it was Jake, All of these people, no one was like, oh, I bet it's some guy from Pennsylvania named Brian Koberger,
Yeah.
because for the 6 weeks until he was arrested, we were all looking into this case, but we didn't have the information that law enforcement had. So now that this Elvis name has come up, people are like, oh, he's got to be involved.
Yeah. Um, well, like I said, you know what? I just think that you don't need to be a freaking rocket science here to see that spit
Nope.
and antlers
Right.
are two of the main things. He didn't have spit, um, or else he would have been arrested. Okay,
And
simple.
remember, multiple people have confessed to this crime.
Yeah. But the thing is that they're trying to attach Elvis because this is to go. That's why they keep calling it like it's a work of art. Absolutely. You guys did an amazing job at going from point A to point Z to how you can say that Richard Allen confessed. I get it. That part I absolutely get. But the part that, like I said, for me, I want people to understand is all these words in here, only a partial of them are actually true because the
Right.
rest of it is just speculation on
Right.
how. Like, I mean, I could go back up to page 67 right now, and it's talking about the blood and how it must have happened. That was pure speculation. So that's what I mean. Like, there's facts in here, but like I said, you don't see this.
Even if they're including everything that's truthful, that doesn't mean they have
Oh,
to include all of it. So they could leave out all of the stuff that, you know, I mean, Elvis's sisters could have been like, oh, but then he told me immediately afterwards that he was lying. They're not going to include that part in this. The same way after we all read the Ron Logan search warrant affidavit, everyone was like, oh, he's got to be involved. He's got to be involved. Because, you were reading an affidavit
we'll
that
come
was
back
written
to
in
you.
a way,
Yeah.
that it wasn't lying. It was using pieces of truth to paint a narrative that you want to paint to get the result you want.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, I
No,
apologize.
no, not at all. Because that's the bottom line, and it's so to me, it's just like I said, I like to look at all angles of it and then see which is more fact versus fiction on this. And to me, there's nothing that's tying Elvis to it besides him saying stuff. So what time did he say it on the 14th? I can guarantee you if he said on the 14th, it probably wasn't till sometime once it was announced about the girls and this and that. I bet you any money it was probably, well, on the evening time, that probably he professed to this to his sister. So obviously his sister passed the polygraph, even though polygraphs whatever. But let's just say that polygraph was just fair enough. She repeated back everything that Elvis had told her. True, true, true. Doesn't mean what he did was true at all. It just means that simply, but they don't, we don't know the time. They know the time. But the thing is, that guy would have been totally arrested, honestly, you guys. Come on. If there was legit DNA of his and he confessed that he spit on the girls, like, and then to play that mind game of, but
Right.
I can explain it away.
And I,
And
I
then
think it's telling that I mean, if they interviewed Joyce, his sister, 3 times, to me,
mhm,
that's telling that they
that they
did do a
did
thorough investigation into this angle.
correct.
That's
Uh,
my speculation, but
yeah.
but I
But the
don't think
thing,
you interview someone 3 times,
well,
you know, and then they're just like, oh no, that was it.
well, again, the whole speculation of the whole so sorry, let me go back to quickly a question there. Per prof wannabe, you know, when you're if you're looking at the crime scene photos, there's sticks and twigs everywhere, like you typically would find if you were a bunch of leaves, trees had fallen off, sticks and twigs, just random. um there was a slight one that was kind of running across the top of the, so if Abby has a ponytail in her hair and there's a slight twig that's running across of it, and a couple of leaves, um that's all you're gonna make out of it. You're not gonna make no freaking reindeer out of it or nothing like that or horns whatsoever. I can
There
tell
was
you
no
that
halo. There were no antlers.
there was. I mean, I have a picture of just the surrounding area without showing anything. If anyone does want to see that part just of the ground, knowing that say if Abby's say top of her head was here, this is the ground. So anyone that hasn't seen it, you would see nothing. Besides, you would see a twig that just a typical twig that's obviously maybe it was kicked on her head. Maybe it was like, okay, let me throw some leaves and a couple twigs over there kind of thing. But that's all you're going to get out of it. You're not going to, you ain't not, there's no way anyone, unless they have a vivid imagination, unless they're like, like I said, totally can't see or something and their eyes are playing tricks on them. There's no antlers, there's no horns at all. Zip, zero, zills, none, none. So I say that from the bottom of my heart. There's just nothing. And Adam had said the same thing. I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to see. Yeah, just nothing. Sorry, nothing. No antlers. Where they got that from, that was to me a figment of their imagination to go along with the runes. Because the runes don't mean shit. Okay? Nick Edwards, which I didn't know, is an Odinist himself. He said that the community of the Astro is really pissed off that they're trying to pin it on Odin's in a sense. Now, that's the one that you guys remember Nick Edwards, the one with AKA Sheena said that the Paladinos were there when CJ, that Nick Edwards, okay? I didn't know that he was into Odinism. I think there's a ton of people into Odinism. I'll tell you that much. I mean, if you sit there
Happy
and,
11/11.
huh?
Happy 11/11.
Oh, happy 11/11 your time. Make a wish. Oh, Adam, my wish already came true. Charmaine's in the house. No, just kidding. Anyways, but no, love you all. I guess I gotta do that. I love you all. But anyways, what was I saying anyway? I now I lost my train of thought because I was too busy. I was too busy kissing Charmaine's ass for a sec there. Runes, right? So there's nothing about Odin runes that mimic those runes. Again, they made a mistake by even claiming that F tree, which again, come on, let's just use our brains a little bit here. Kind of looks like an F, does it not?
I'm gonna do my Thanksgiving Day table in runes to see if anyone notices in my family.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting all this knowledge from the game RuneScape that I played too as well. Little freaking Astro runes. But anyway, so they couldn't tell you in that 136 page story, because that's exactly what most of that was a story that was like, guys, when you play those little kids, connect the dots when you're kids. Well, that's what they did exactly. It's like, ooh, so this person knows this person, so we can connect that to Brad Holder. Brad Holder, oh shit, we can't connect Brad Holder to the crime scene, but hey, he got all the shit all over his Facebook and stuff like that. But anyways, so when I had asked Brad Holder about the runes, like, hey, does these mean anything at all? Nope. I showed him to mean anything at all? Nope. No, even Patrick Westfall. Nope. Does that mean that somebody wasn't trying to portray? Those sticks are definitely in my eyes. Now that's assumption, but there's no way to me that those sticks landed that way by throwing them. Those are placed in a way. There's no way that there's going to be a stick across each girl going right across the throat area, and then perfectly, these sticks were placed there to me. To me, there's no question about that. Do I think it was an attempt to look like some sort of, like Robert Ives said, a misdirection, perhaps? Maybe, the intent was to try to make it seem ritualistic in a way. But they screwed up. And like I said, when they sat there and said that F, which they can't even prove that it's an F, because then again, you're ignoring the other blood around it as well. And it doesn't mean Odin. So you just take that out right there. That in itself, they can't tell you what anything means on Libby. What does that tell anyone? It means it's not Odin. Okay, you think anyone in Odinism isn't going to know how to do their freaking astro runes, but that's not even how they
Right.
do it. But even if they did, you don't think that they would know their own work, how they would do runes?
Right.
So, like I said,
Unless
so
they,
when
unless they just watched Vikings or Sons of Anarchy.
so yes, so when people say, "Well, they have to tell the truth because that's what they're looking at," no, that doesn't mean it has to be truthful. It means they can give their perception as what they believe is truthful, even if they know it's not. But it's still as close. Well, I mean, it kind of looks like some sort of ritual. Well, we're going to attach it to Odin because that's the line that we're going through. But the thing is that you just need to pull out the fact that they couldn't even spell Hail Odin properly, and it was just guesswork, but they couldn't apply anything to Libby. So that just takes away that whole stuff right there. So what do we have left that's attached to Odinism then? Because the F tree isn't even a connected F. It's just something that looks. So let me, Adam, remember what page we're on? 94. 94.
Okay.
I want to scroll back. If you see any questions there that you want to answer, of course, feel free. I want to go up to 67 because that.
No, I do. I just want to say, I mean, if anyone's in the chat and they don't agree with anything we're saying or someone else in the chat is
Oh,
saying,
fine.
that's absolutely fine. But try to be respectful.
Absolutely.
As we will do as well.
Yeah, because the thing is that could be totally wrong. You could be totally right. You could be totally wrong. I could be totally right, or we could be totally right. It doesn't matter.
Depending, I'm totally right. You're wrong. Oh wait, no. Unless we agree, then we're both right.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding.
Okay, I got.
But either way, I'm right.
Okay, definitely. Okay, right here, I think it is. F rune formed with sticks on ground resembles F rune found on tree in Libby's blood. So F rune formed with sticks on ground. What? Hold on. What F rune formed with sticks? I don't remember that part. F rune formed with sticks on ground resemble. Okay, those sticks did not resemble no F. So what's up with that one? F rune found on the tree in Libby's blood. So attached to the memorandum is a photo provided to the detectives in the discovery from Brad Holder's Facebook. The photo shown F that Holder made sticks from a tree. This image, oh, maybe that's what they were talking about. This image, and I wouldn't call that an F either. I don't think it was. I remember seeing that picture. This image is marked. Okay, wait, no. Come on. Where's that page? Where's that part that I want? Oh, here it is, right here. Libby's blood. I think this is it. Libby's blood was found on one of the trees at the crime scene in the form of an F. Okay, we know that would be Libby's blood. Fact. Do we know what's in F? Not true. Untrue. It doesn't. It looks like it has the resemblance of an F, but that's just again, that's just really guesswork. That is totally them saying that it looks like an F. Even anyone looking at that, you can't attach the F in the middle to make a line there. What about all the blood that's around that F? Why don't you use that part of it? Well, because the part that's catching the eye is that looks like an F. So they're not going to tell you about the rest of the blood part around there that should make something. So it says, so this is the part, okay, that gets me. So at the crime scene in the form of an F that someone painted onto the tree using their fingers or some type of utensil.
Right.
Really?
Thank you, Charmaine.
What'd Charmaine do? What'd she say? She helped me? Oh, she's going to sleep. 13.9. Charmaine. Fine.
My favorite number.
69. Yeah, yours is 13, isn't it? Thank you, Charmaine. I love you, girl.
And the year I graduated high school.
Yeah, true. All right, that one's for you. No, it's not. Give it back. No.
All of my first email addresses and usernames were always Aspen1399.
This is bullshit though, because Tom tired her out. Actually, she's going to hear Tom's song go off, and then she's going to go to bed.
I get tired watching him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love Tom.
Judge Gull in her chair where she's like her eyes are closed. That's what happens, Tom. Sorry, it's true.
No, I graduated in 1999. I'm old.
I'm just waiting for the song to go off, to be honest with you. I don't know why. One night it was going off really fast. Now it's like, well, okay. Somebody's going to be asleep by that point. 13 is my favorite number too. Yeah, I was screwed up that it was a jinx.
My favorite number.
I was born in 1969, and it's a really good position, and it's a
Oh,
really good song. I'm just saying, I feel like I got like lucky with it all until I aged. Now it's not so lucky anymore. Now it's like on there. Well, the song's gonna go off in a minute. Okay, so watch, I'll start talking. It'll go off. So again, was that fact about the hole painted on the tree or a utensil? Um,
oh, it's echoing.
playing in double.
Uh,
Thank you. I'm going to sleep. Have a lovely long socks.
You know what's funny was that my volume was at 69 when that went off.
Travis, Travis, I believe that the thing you're referring to that you think Sunny may have said
Yeah, I think
is
so.
in fact what you did hear her say, and that is that it
Great.
is. Go ahead, Sunny.
Well, it's no different than when he was talking about his sausages and the beef and in and out and stuff like that. So he
I
said,
don't speak like that, so I'll let Sunny repeat what she said.
absolutely. Adam, you're so innocent. I forgot. But yeah, Travis, you heard nothing. I said nothing whatsoever. Okay. So let's say that again. Libby's blood was found on one of the trees at the crime scene in the form of an F. Okay? Again, that's not fact. That's someone painted on the tree. That's not fact. Using their fingers or some type of utensil. That's not fact. That's just them thinking that somebody either used their fingers or some type of utensil. That's just guesswork right there. That's not fact. It could just simply be Libby's hands sliding and it came out looking like an F. It could be a tool, maybe somebody's fingers, might be, but that's not fact. That's just them giving their interpretation, their perception of what they saw. So unless they could, because they would know. You would know if somebody used their fingers or a utensil. A utensil would usually have some sort of line, to know that. So that's just guesswork. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Is speculation right
I
there.
agree.
You
I
know,
agree. Held
you
so
agree?
many assumptions.
Yeah. Okay. So again, that's why I want people. So just because it's in there doesn't mean that it's freaking fact. No, it's a lot of it's perception with facts in there. Yes, Libby's blood's on the tree. Fact. That is fact, Sonny. That's right. Fact. Okay, your turn. I've talked enough. You go ahead. But that's all that is. It's a story, a well-written story that led from somebody like Elvis that's not been charged. They would have dug down that hole. I think people are wrong in thinking that they didn't go down that hole big enough. If somebody's interviewed 3 times, they were obviously going down that lane.
Like I
And
said, we don't have all of the information from the investigation into the Odenism thing
but it's
and what they looked into with Elvis. I mean, clearly they looked into him enough that they talked to both of his sisters. They interviewed him multiple times. Um, so literally the only information we have regarding Elvis Fields and what went on in the investigation with him comes from this defense memorandum. And I'll repeat, the same type of memorandum could be written about countless other people that were looked into in this case with just as compelling of facts.
I mean, Ron
Megan
Logan.
Klein, Daniel Nations. I mean, they flew to Colorado to talk to him. Chadwell. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Well,
It's a 6-year-long investigation. So the discovery is the entire
what record does Ari?
investigation. That's a lot of information about a lot of people. This is just the angle that this defense team decided to go down. The new defense team, they may choose to continue down this path. They may choose to abandon it completely, and it will make everything we're talking about and reading null and void, legally speaking.
The thing is, Bianca, for RA, I mean, for me, for RA, let me put it this way. I'm not 100% convinced it's RA. I'm not 100% convinced. I'm not there. Do I believe that it's pretty darn good? That it's him? Yeah, but I'm not. I would never, eh, based on what we know,
Well,
that
we
I
haven't seen all the evidence or
that's
information. So how could
exactly it.
anyone be 100%?
That's exactly it. I believe that there's more. I don't believe that there's legitly, like, I'll be amazed if we have a bullet, we have him putting himself at the crime scene. They dug up his yard and all that stuff. And again, they said that they hadn't gone through all the evidence and that they were still waiting for some more and blah, 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 blah. Like, again, they want to tell you they're not going to put anything in this memorandum that's going to hurt RA in any which way, shape, or form. Um, so, I mean, like I said, they had more evidence to go through and more evidence to come to, even though something about um, McClellan saying that they gave over what they had, but who knows? Who knows exactly? Because the wording was a little bit on that, but either or.
Well, and remember, the last mention we had of any discovery was the defense mentioned that that the last time the ex-defense team mentioned anything about discovery was when they said that they received the most recent batch of discovery on the 18th of September, but they had not had time to review it, and so they didn't know what was in it.
Right.
Uh,
Yes.
and then the next time we heard about discovery was on October 10th when Nick McClelland reported that the state believes they'd handed over all of the discovery they had. So we don't know what the ex-defense team was given as far as discovery is concerned between September 18th and October 10th. It's almost a month. So even when they say there's no this or there's no that, we don't know what was received in between the 18th of September and the 10th of October. And that's just going by the dates that are listed in the court
Are you
filing.
answering Travis's question there? Or is that a statement? So what are the facts in the case? Two young middle-aged girls murdered, then there is probable cause affidavit which states information under oath, right? Is that still partially sealed? What does that mean, to be honest?
Partially sealed.
Yeah, because like a probable cause affidavit, Travis, that's is Tom. Somebody donate quick. Hurry up. Dun, 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 dun.
Travis says, do we know what discovery provided between arrests up to present time? Well, Travis, we know that, the defense mentioned a few times that they had not received all of the discovery before they withdrew from the case. They discussed in this memorandum, I believe it was this memorandum, that on the 18th of no, it was a different one. That's 18th of September was the last time they received a document dump or of discovery, but they had time to review it. And then October 10th, Nick McClelland put in a filing that the state had turned over all the discovery in this case, to their knowledge, to the now ex-defense team. So,
well, thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Diana.
So unexpected, to be honest with you. I guess we're Tommy.
Super chat. $2. Thank you.
So I'm sure Tom knows this already, but let's just pretend like he doesn't. So Tom, Charmaine gave me this idea to start this campaign. Are you hiding? Are you hiding? Are you legit? What? Tom. So whenever you hear that song, whenever someone donates, you're going to hear that song until you come on a live here, because we already talked about the fact that you're losing your job, and that when you come on here, we'll make it a donation night for Tom and try to help Tom out, because Tom's a good friend. I don't care if you're turning red or blushing right now. Well, blame Charmaine. No, actually, it was a great idea. So I'm trying to save up for a car payment for my husband, which is like $440. And in turn, whenever somebody donates, it plays that song so that at one point you're going to be like, fine, Sonny, I'm so sick of hearing that freaking jingle. That fine, you're going to come on alive. So,
But then Tom
um,
will never come on.
yeah, what a great person she is, isn't she?
Wait, I
Yeah.
think you skipped. I think you skipped a very important comment by
Which one
Tom.
was that? Thank you, Diana. Which one?
Wait, where did it go?
Oh, I see the one that you're about the king thing. Get off that right there. Let's go back to oh my charming. Yeah, on there. So the thing is, Tom, that jingle is gonna keep on playing until you sit there and beg me and go, please stop playing it. Fine, I'll come on a live and you'll do a Delphi live. Okay. And you know that we'll be on our worst behavior, of course, just like you all the time, cracking jokes and stuff like that in the midst of talking. But stuff, see, and Kathy is too. I didn't know about this. That is so nice. Don't worry. No, the bottom line is, right, right. You know that this channel loves you the mostest. Okay, so your first live. I don't care if I have to jump through this computer screen. Be here because we love you and we will support you and people love you and people will support you.
Hasn't Tom done a live with us before?
No, no, no. Well, no, yes, he did a little bit, yeah, but it wasn't like it was this pre-planned thing. And these are the sneak attacks that he does. I'm talking about a Delphi live, the meat and the bones. Does that
Hey,
sound
there you
right?
go.
Meat and
There's
the
your
bones
answer.
in December. Yes.
I'm busy that day.
Okay, well, your jingle's gonna keep going until then. You have to keep your word. Okay, you gonna shake on that? Shake on it? Okay. Nah, we love you, Tom. And Charmaine had said it to me, and I thought it was a great idea. And you become. Can you hear me, Tommy?
Kathy Chicken Super Chat. $10.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, wait. I come on for joke. For jokes.
It's all we want for Christmas.
Only recipes for Thanksgiving. Yeah, but Thanksgiving's in a couple of days, and you said December, so Thanksgiving's gone. So too bad. See, you got to do a Delphi live. All right. See, and hold on. Where is it? Where's Kathy? Kathy, thank you so much. And Tom's gonna get so
Thank you,
sick.
Kathy.
He's gonna get like, please just stop playing it. But anyways, bottom line is that campaign's going until you park your butt right here with us, okay? And like I said, I mean, Major Tom to what is it? Ground control to Major Tom. Yeah, but for this case, it's Tommy. Can you hear me? Well,
I just want to say quickly. I caught about an hour of. Well, no, I caught about an hour and a half of Tom's live. And it was excellent as always, Tom. So good job on that. And I caught like 2 minutes at the when I first turned it on of Purdue RN and Deb helping him read through the transcripts from the in chamber thing, and Deb and Purdue both did a great job. I thought so. If you guys haven't watched Tom's live from tonight, after we get off of the air, go watch at least the part with Deb and Purdue RN. The rest was
just average. I get it. Oh, hey Tom. One thing I was saying to you earlier, and you might not know this, or you might, but StreamYard has it where you can make a minute video. Like if you have Canada, just put that ocean, and it actually moves behind you. You can have that now, where the ocean, that water is actually moving. So just go over to Canva, do like a 10-second clip and loop it, and you'll just have that water right behind you, feeling like you're truly right there on vacation. Because we all know that at this moment you can't afford to go on vacation right now, okay? Because you got to do a live with us first. That's what's going to happen. In Christmas, December, I screenshotted it and everything. I didn't know that about our Canva. StreamYard. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Well, it's just that when I was watching you, I was like, like what a great background to your, detective shirt that you have on. But I was just like, oh, I gotta let Tom know that water, you can do that and have the moving water behind you, just like you're on vacation, Tom.
I'm gonna ask for one for Christmas.
I got an air fryer, Tom.
I'm gonna
Yes,
be like, all I want for Christmas is
Tom on a live.
Luther Vandross detective agency shirt.
Oh, I thought you were going to say on a live, but okay, selfish. Oh, okay, fine. That was cute. That was actually I really like that, Tom. Um, nice artwork there, simple, and simple and good. Nice colors too. By the way, are you done stroking his ego? Because I am. So am. Oh. Oh, and then Travis is here. I think Tom would have been casted perfectly for Baldwin. We need someone who has arms flailing and faces deepens in red the longer he goes. Not a stereotype, just reality. Um, I really want, I really want direct. you know, Tom, he's like I said, the more he spends quality time with us or perhaps other people, growing his channel, getting ad revenue more and this and that and whatever, next thing you know, you're going to be like, lives, Sonny, I love doing lives. Absolutely. Coming on.
Tom
Yep.
would be like, catch me on Court TV tonight with Vinny.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he's probably going to say was like, well, after I get through News Nation and Court TV, I'll come and join you. That's funny. I would like to see a recliner emoji, Sonny. I'll tell you, I'll make one for Tom that night. The minute he comes on this live, this is the minute I'll make a recliner emoji, okay? Absolutely.
Hey, Sonny, you keep going. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. It
I'm
says
gonna abandon you for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
yeah, there's 64 people watching, 37 likes. Come on, guys. Chop, 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 chop. Especially Travis. Travis did such a great job today, too. And you guys did a great job for helping with the likes. It helps the algorithm. Um, Usually Adam begs, but okay, since he's gone for a second, I will. But yeah, if you guys could hit that like, that would be amazing. That was a great live today, earlier. Again, Travis, the numbers in the views have shown that. And again, people like to hear lawyers talking about lawyer stuff because, channels can talk about it all they want, but if they're not a lawyer, they really can't. They can't fake being a lawyer, right? Almost lawyer down there. All right. But it's always great when someone like even Alexa has the expertise and stuff like that, you know, in being a criminal profiler, body language expert, graphologist, and stuff like that. Even though I don't always agree with Alexa, and she knows that, but I do know that obviously that her weight is more than mine when it comes to stuff like that for sure. I was built on gut, okay? Gut and those psychic abilities. Um, Bianca, Odinus are not only racist, but they hate snitches. Maybe this was the reason this happened. Revenge. That was what we used to all think a few years ago. To the motive was revenge, right? Well, I'm not so against the whole revenge motive still, and could be totally wrong. With this case, there's not one person that's right, to be honest with you. There's not one person that can sit there and tell you exactly what happened. There might be people that might have information, perhaps, that have a little bit more, that possibly, but other than that, nah. You know, I it's to the point, like, my brain doesn't even want to think or speculate too much, a guess and stuff like that. It's just, it, it's like an endless pit that you'll never figure it out until we actually, hopefully, one day hear some truth. That was all Sunny, not me. A robot AI creation of Sunny's imagination. One day, yeah, one day I'll put myself here, but it's really AI talking to you. Sunny, remember what Angela T said in her, yes, Angela Thomas, the psychic, yes, said in her reading, these people are the guys she described. It all comes together for me. All makes sense. I hope one day you'll see what I see. Good night. Yeah, you know what? Again, I my brain cells hurt, to be honest with you, and I absolutely, um, Angela is a very nice lady, and she came on, what, 3 times? Honestly, anyone's brain would hurt from this case. Like, seriously. Like, the simplest things from the sketches. Oh, the second sketch came from this chick that saw some guy that was in his 20s to 30s with brown hair, whatever. Okay, what happened to the 5 foot freaking 4 to 5'10" guy that was ready brown hair, and blah blah blah. And then they take that whole sketch away. you know, the first one that they put out, even though that was really the second one, blah blah blah, you know. And to me, that was like a slap in the face to me, when Doug Carter sat there and was like, "Well, I always told you that if you put the sketches together, whatever." Dude, you literally said that the old sketch don't no. So you left us with the younger sketch. So talk to the hand, Doug Carter, on that crap, okay? I love you, buddy, but you know what? You've said a lot of crap and you've said a lot of double talking in all of this, and you, LE, have contributed. You have greatly contributed to this case being exactly where it's at because of your lack of transparency. You're double talking, you're calling off the dogs, you can't even pick up the sticks off of these two dead girls' crime scene, and shit like that. And it just pisses you off. And you don't even know what's truth anymore. If you can't even trust the LE because they're so sloppy and negligent, how are you truly supposed to believe that they fully vetted Elvis Fields? That's the only thing I would ever think about Elvis Fields. I don't think he has anything to do with it, but do I trust the LE that they did their job? Aspen lies a lot. Absolutely. Deb, every day that ends in Y, he lies. Why? Just because. I don't know. Why? Just because. I want a psychic on when I come on a show. They can predict what the Indiana Supreme Court will do. I won't have to spend so much time. You smart ass. Aspen stepped away. No, either he went for a smoke or he's sitting there right now and he's pretending he's not there. We know Aspen, don't we, Deb? Guess who's late again? See through that's no problem. It's only 8:41 here. Tomorrow night, I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow night. It might be, I think tomorrow night might be Lisk. And you guys saw that I put out a little bit of a video. And for all of you that haven't watched it, it was a pretty good little video. Okay. I spent some good time on that actually for the little bit of video that it was. I was trying to make it look really cool with Canva, Tom. But anyways, and it did actually, it was cool. But anyways, so pen pals, I hear you. Pen pals with, that Keith Jesperson. And then Charmaine goes and says, Sonny, that guy was born from your area in Vancouver. What? Really? I didn't know that.
Hey.
Crazy. Being AI, I can't lie. Not my programming. Okay.
Why did Deb say I lie a lot?
Because you do. She's just pointing out some facts.
That's true.
There's more facts about what Deb's saying than what's in this memorandum.
Deb would know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So sorry. It was.
And I just want to say, Travis, you don't need a psychic because I already tell you what they're going to do.
Wait, Adam. I got to go down to the page because I want to finish up with those pages.
Okay, fine. Well, back to the case.
Yeah. Where are we? Right here? Hold on. Where were we? Where did we finish off? No, we're whoops. You guys, I'm totally way off of the pages here. Come on, scroller. I'm too lazy to go off to the side there. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, okay. I'm burning out. A little bit more. I can do it. Positive thinking here. Holy, that's a good workout. I don't got to work out tomorrow. Okay. You read this part and then you stay there. Okay. This chick is going to go give the toilet a drink and I'll be right back. But if you could just keep, oh shoot, you don't have it open, do you? Oh, yes, you do. You have it open, don't you, Adam? Or did you close it off?
No, I have it open. Where am I at? Okay.
You're right there. And I'll be right back.
This is Elvis's purported alibi. At his June 20th, and again, I apologize if I sound nasally. I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold. At his June 2018 interview, Elvis Fields told Ferenczi and Murphy that he, Elvis, remembered being at home in Rushville 492 days earlier on February 13th, 2017. It is quite a remarkable feat for someone with Elvis's mental capacity to remember a specific day 492 days earlier. Some people, like actress Mary Lou Henner, did not see her being mentioned in this memorandum, but here she is. Mary Lou Henner are blessed with something called autobiographical memory, which allows that person to remember specific days in their lives even years and years later. As previously noted by Murphy, in his opinion, Elvis Fields had the mentality of a 7 to 8-year-old. Still, rather than admit that he, Elvis, had no idea where he was on February 13th, 2017, Elvis claimed he specifically remembers not leaving Rushville on February 13th, 2017. The Rod Abrams problem. On August 29th, 2018, Ferenczi and Murphy interviewed Rod Abrams. When asked where he and Elvis were on February 13th, 2017, Rod Abrams said that he, Elvis, and Ned Smith were in Muncie on that day visiting a sick friend at the hospital. Autobiographical memory must be in the water in Rushville, as Rod Abrams, when interviewed, was able to remember exactly where he was 562 days earlier. In addition to remembering that they were at the hospital in Muncie, Rod also stated that both he and Elvis had their phones with them. When told that law enforcement would check all cell phone records to see if Rod was actually at the hospital in Muncie, Rod explained that hospitals cut cell reception on phones because they interfere with hospital equipment. So their phones would not show that they were at the hospital in Muncie. In supplement number 542, Joyce Moffat interview provided in Discovery handwritten notes, presumably of law enforcement, state the following. Fields, Ned Smith, Rod Abrams, not in Muncie on 2/13/2017 at hospital. This was the conclusion of law enforcement, and obviously Rod Abrams' ridiculous statement that their phone records would not confirm that their phones were at the hospital because of hospital equipment and common sense evidence that Rod Abrams was lying as well. And then I just want to go back to say that the footnotes on the previous page said Murphy Depot, page 21, lines 14 through 17. Page 1 of the Odin report and June 20, 2018 interview at the 14:35:40 mark. Also, in his first interview, Elvis told police that he had proof of witness that he didn't leave Rushville. February 27th, 2018 interview at the 14:29:16 mark. This video is provided on a flash drive as Exhibit 95. 127 says Odin report, page 3. Excuse me. The next paragraph says the phone problem. On February 13th, 2017.
Hold on. What the hell is this?
Never mind.
Right? How much are symmetrically pleasing? Oh, symmetrically. She didn't say she loved you. She didn't say anything like that. We're good still. We're good. Okay.
Hey, Cold Truth.
Yeah. Hey, Cold Truth. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, baby. Yeah, that's what she's talking about. Oh, I don't see a hello, Sonny. Do you? Anywhere? Any hello, Sonny?
Are you even here?
Do you see anything that says sweetie or I'm going to spank you with my canoe paddle? Anything? Nope. Okay, keep going, Adam.
On February 13th, 2017, phone records apparently show that Elvis, this is important. On February 13th, 2017, phone records apparently show that Elvis's phone stayed in the same place in Rushville from approximately 10:30 a.m. until approximately 7:30 p.m. Phone records also show that Elvis, for some reason, did not use his phone whatsoever for roughly 9 hours. Elvis told law enforcement that he usually kept his phone on him. As stated in the previous paragraph, Rod Abrams said that Elvis had taken his phone to Muncie to visit the mystery friend at the hospital. However, phone records show that Elvis's phone was in Rushville during that time frame. The phone problem is twofold. Elvis's phone remaining at home for roughly 9 straight hours conflicts with Rod Abrams' professed alibi for Elvis, Ned Smith, and Rod Abrams. 2. In today's day and age, it would seem highly unlikely that Elvis simply would not pick up his phone for roughly 9 hours, especially when Elvis claimed that he usually kept his phone with him. The takeaway for any curious investigator would be at a minimum twofold. Rod Abrams lied about being in Muncie, but Elvis forgot to stick with that lie, or Elvis went to Delphi but was told to leave his phone behind, so that phone data would not show that he, Elvis, was in Delphi. It is unknown if Rod Abrams or Ned Smith's phone records were ever recovered. Suffice it to say, Elvis's and Rod Abrams' alibis are beyond highly suspicious.
Don't forget the footnote.
Yes, I'll go back and read.
Okay.
Odin Report, page 3. The defense had not received any phone records yet, but are relying on page 1 of the Odin Report for that information. And Elvis, February 27th, 2018 interview at the 14:02:30 mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's important to mention that, the phone, we don't know where Elvis was on that day, but we know his phone was in Rushville from 10:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. I believe it said. And the only reason I bring this up is because we know that Rushville is 2 hours from Delphi, and I think one of the most compelling things that make a lot of people think about Elvis Fields in connection to this is the Teresa Liebert sketch that was done that a lot of people
weird one
that a lot of people think resembles Elvis Field. And when I mentioned that Teresa Liebert, she claims that she saw that person that she depicted in the sketch that was done near the mailboxes of her home at 8:30 a.m. on February 13th, 2017. So for that to be true, Elvis would have had to have left Rushville. Oh, and Elvis didn't have a car. So someone would have had to have driven him there. He would have had to have left his home in Rushville at approximately 6:30 a.m. To get there at those mailboxes by 8:30 a.m. Again, this is 4 or 5 hours before Libby and Abby got there to the trails. And I find it interesting mainly because in this they mention that his phone was in Rushville from 10:30 a.m. till 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So if he had left at 6:30 a.m., gone to Delphi to be involved in this crime, why
that was
would
on the 13th, right? Because that was on the 13th.
Yes, on the 13th. Why would the ex-defense team make the claim his phone was in Rushville from 10:30 a.m.? Why wouldn't they have brought up the fact that it was in Rushville at 6:30 a.m.?
Right.
So it makes me think, was there phone activity on Elvis Fields' phone prior to 10:30 a.m. that morning, showing that he was on his phone in Rushville? And if so, I think that is, one of the points that someone could make to discredit that he was, in fact, in Delphi, Indiana, standing outside the mailboxes of Teresa Liebert's house at 8:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Absolutely. I want to read the next part here.
Yeah.
So Elvis described forming horns out of sticks and placing them on Abby's head at the crime scene. Photos confirm Elvis's statement. No, they don't. Perhaps the most damaging piece of evidence, guys, is that links Elvis to the crime scenes was found in an unusual place in the middle of the report that memorialized the results of Mary Jacobs' polygraph examination. In Mary's pre-examination interview, polygraph examiner Stephanie Thompson recorded. Stephanie Thompson. That's the one that died with the daughter and the judge.
Yeah.
The judge
Yeah.
lived.
She
That
was
was
the main. She was the main
her Flora.
person for ISP.
Isn't that crazy,
It is.
people?
Her
Like
beautiful.
seriously.
I mean, her and her beautiful family. Yeah, just so sad.
I remember, yeah, because I remember when I came across that story, and honestly, like, I caught that story right away, and it bugged me because of the judge thing. So when I listened to it, broad daylight, fire goes off in their home, the judge is at work or whatever, and Stephanie Thompson and her daughter, yeah, die. That's the same lady that we're talking about right there, guys. Coincidence? I don't know. Okay. But anyway, so recorded that Mary Jacobs stated the following. Elvis told her Mary Abigail is a little troublemaker, that he placed leaves on her and used sticks to give her horns. Horns and antlers are common symbols used in pagan rituals, and Brad Holder himself displayed the Odinite fascination with horns on his Facebook page. Find attached Exhibit 97 from Brad Holder's Facebook page. As you can see, the middle photograph is an image of a person with small stick-like antlers on the top of her head. Okay? I'm calling bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Besides using your imagination to make stick, there is no freaking formation of antlers, you guys, or horns. But if anything, they could never say horns. First of all, antlers, yeah. If you want to sit there and try to make something that's normally on the ground, and it's still there's nothing there to represent antlers
It's,
beside one stick. What? Go ahead, Adam. What were you
well,
gonna say?
I would say after you read the first line of the next sentence, I wouldn't interrupt you. But I guess I had to interrupt you to say that.
Yeah, cool truth. I've seen the pictures now. Okay. And so for that was one of the main things because of this, oh, there's horns, oh, there's not, or whatever. Okay. This case is effing sad, is what it is. It's tragic, it's sad, and it really pisses me off because you're just trying to get justice for the two girls, but there's no freaking horns or anything that looks like horns. What's or antlers? Let's just take horns right out of it because there's no freaking horns there. But there's nothing, you guys.
Right.
There's a stick that's going like if you have one of those little sticks from a tree, those little wiggly things, and it's a little bit longer and it kind of bends. That's all it is. It's a stick like that. They're just sticks on the ground, but this one happens to be crossing her head. But there's no freaking true crime design freaking antlers coming off the top of the head. That's just bullshit. And same with so what's in here. Like I said, you would have to have the most vivid imagination for anyone to come up with horns on top of the head. I thought perhaps maybe they were talking about, like on the side that perhaps like these were looking like horns or something like that. But it's horns on top of the head. Anyway, it's not there. It's not there whatsoever. So, but that's one of the most damaging or pieces of evidence. Okay. Well, since they're not there, no, it's not. Find attached a close-up photograph of Abby's head from the crime scene from a distance. It may not immediate. No, seen it close up right there. However, upon closer inspection, it is obvious that someone involved in the killings intentionally placed small sticks from a treetop on top of Abby's hair to resemble horns or antlers.
And this
There's one stick, people. One stick that's
and
going.
this is the part I wanted to interrupt you for.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the pictures that were leaked, like I received 4 pictures. I think the same as many other people did. 2 of which depicted full images of the girls, which I'll never be able to unsee. But the reason I'm mentioning this now is because one of the other pictures is a close up of Abby's the top of Abby's head. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because how ironic that in the 4 pictures that came out, all of them are directly related to things that are discussed in this memorandum. and when it says right there that attached is what does it say, Sonny?
Oh, attached to it. Yeah, blah blah blah. Sorry.
Find attached a close up photograph of Abby's head from the crime scene.
Yeah.
One of the leaked photos is I'm assuming the picture that they're referring to
98.
because it's a close up picture of the top of Abby's head.
Yeah.
And and I think the reason for that picture was to depict what they're referring to as antlers or sticks or whatever. And that's the thing that a lot of people have debated as far as sticks, antlers, whatever. I saw no halo or antlers. Like I said, there's one stick by Abby's left ear, but there's sticks everywhere. Like in no arrangement. So I just wanted to point out the fact that all of the pictures that were leaked are all things that are referenced in this memorandum.
Right. Well, that was the point that I was trying to make. I think that many of us were trying to make is that to me, these photos were the F tree was leaked, and someone had said it to me actually, and I can't remember if it was Charmaine or who it was that said this to me originally. That said that the person about the Barbara McDonald thing about being pissed off about the F tree and releasing that F tree because they were pissed off about what they were trying to represent. And that was the whole point. To me, these pictures were leaked because they wanted to put out to the public what they believed with this whole 136-page memorandum, that it was one of those things like, here, now you can see for yourselves. They don't look like this that Barbara McDonald showed. They look like this. Here you guys go. Here's the real pictures. This was all, whether people want to believe Baldwin's involvement or not, even though what Forston was in Franklin, right, to put holes into the story, you know what I mean? To go into Baldwin's office to poke holes, even though Mitch Westerman took pictures, and you could tell that the pictures were taken, at least the pictures, because there's that white paper on the side when you have a photocopy of it type of idea. So that tells me that that's a picture that person did that. Whatever other things that Mitch Westerman took, evidence, like documents and stuff like that. Who the heck knows?
Right.
Regardless of that, but
right. And just to finish that out, the fourth picture is a close up of Abby's legs, which I think is to depict the fact that that they're alleging she was wearing Libby's jeans.
I looked at that, okay, and I want to tell you guys, for anyone that hasn't seen it, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to see these pictures or not. Okay, there's tons of people that have these pictures by now, tons.
And I'm not going into detail with
No.
I'm just referencing what's in the memorandum.
Correct. So if you guys, for people that haven't seen it, true crime design, obviously, I don't believe that it's whatever, because I was looking at that to compare it, and there is different painting issues on how it was done. So to me, that one, unless somehow you put it into a cartoony type program and it gives differential, but I could see differences in where the shirt placement was and different things like that. So I don't believe it was a head-on-head copy. It could have been. It just depends on how an art program kind of defines it. When you put your face into one, they make it cartoon you and stuff like that. Take away the antlers though on there, and there's some differences in the sticks, to be honest with you. But as for the jeans, I believe that those, if I was to give my best opinion, I would say that those are not Abby's jeans. Those are Libby's, because they're just too darn wide at the bottom. And even if they were wet, they still would not be lying like that. I believe that those are Libby's. And that's just my best estimated guess on that, for that part of it. So, yeah. Because that one was just a leg. And then there was other one where you could see like basically just the top of the head and then the sticks on that one.
But all four directly are images that are points of reference in this memorandum.
Yeah. I'm not.
Which makes me think that's why they were the ones chosen.
Hey, say it again.
which
Oh,
makes me think that
absolutely.
they were the ones chosen. Because if you look at that one evidence list, it said, I can't remember the number. It said how many crime scene photos were turned over in that part of discovery, and I can't remember right now what it said. But
The thing, what the thing is, cold truth, Mel, is that, so what would make the most sense there to what you're saying to me would be that Baldwin had no knowledge, and that Mitch Westerman decided to take it upon himself to, because you know how people get, just like in chats, some people are fucking Looney Tunes, right? They go freaking mental over the case. And other people just come in and they can have a typical conversation, typical discussion, and there's people that just go freaking mental, like they're not freaking planted well in the brain area, and they just go absurd. So maybe Mitch Westerman perhaps was pissed off enough about that Barbara McDonald interview on whatever, and decided to take it upon himself to think that that would benefit, even if it wasn't. There's nothing, unless, like, unless an investigation ever, comes out where they say, hey, like, this took us over here, it took us over here, who knows, you know but there's nothing that anyone specifically has. We have Forston saying that he's in Franklin and that they've asked him to come poke holes in the memorandum. Okay, so that we know Mitch Westerman took photos, whatever other things he took, who knows. But if maybe they felt it would benefit, but again, it just depends on what the logical thinking is. At the end of the day, this was all to create doubt. This was all to do, they accomplished what they wanted to do, I feel, regardless. And I think that there's that, like myself, not because of this, but I think that there's enough reasonable doubt at my right now for me, until we ever see the full evidence properly from the prosecution and what else they have on Richard Allen, what those confessions say, and stuff like that. There's leaks that have been happening for frickin' since the beginning of this case. Okay, there's been leaks everywhere, from family members to
and
frickin' officers. Go ahead.
I would say, Lil Gamble, I respect your opinion, but
Who?
there's absolutely zero evidence to point towards Mitch Westerman being paid by Nick McClelland to leak those photos. Um, I mean, we've seen the
Yeah.
messages even with Fortson talking to Mark Cohen, where they talk about why they wanted to put this out there publicly as far as the F tree picture, and it was not to benefit the prosecution. And like I said, you can disagree with me 100%, but show me one piece of evidence that that points towards Nick McClelland having any sort of complicity in this.
Well, that's just complete speculation.
Yeah,
Just kind of like meaning
follow the facts though.
there's been nothing to show that whatsoever. I will agree with Adam on that. And what the purpose of why they did it for, it makes sense what the purpose was, when people get pissy and then they want, the stuff to get out there because they want to portray, definitely has some basis, but I've never seen anything about, well, what do you mean? What facts? The fact is, what Mitch Westerman took the photos that the defense admitted to, that he snuck in the office. What do you mean about the facts that Forston is messaging with Mark Roberts saying that he's in Franklin and that they want them to go poke holes in the story to see if there's, places that they could make this memorandum better? Um, those are facts. Sitting there thinking that Baldwin had anything to do with it, that wouldn't be a fact, because we don't know that or not, right? We don't know that Mitch
Absolutely.
Westerman got paid. That's not a fact. So there's a difference there. There's facts in there, and that's your speculation, and that's fine if that's what you want to think. I personally haven't seen anything that has said anything to do with that, so I'm not sure where you're getting that from, to be honest with you. But it's personally nothing that I've heard, besides someone talking about the GoFundMe once, but that was clearly for the daughter, on that one. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, hey, dude, little gambler, you have the right to your thoughts and opinions. If you feel like there was some money involved,
Absolutely.
well, then we'll see it come out. Hopefully, like when, if and ever this trial ever happens. To be
And
honest
that would
with
be
you,
horribly damning. So, I mean, and we can talk about it, once, if that happens.
yeah, there's about 12 photos. The defense has provided the court with 12 photos of the crime scene and autopsy photographs marked as 5 through 16 as confidential. Frank's memo, 30 on there. Hyperbuff on there. Well, gambler, are you a shepherd
Sheepy.
of the Free Howling crew? Hey, aren't they having like ground? What is it on the 27th? Ground. What's it called again? Ground grovel.
Oh, I
Ground
think it's
groundswell
called a groundswell.
on there.
Yeah,
Oh, bottom
that'll be
line is,
fun for them.
yeah, is like everyone kind of like Delphi can have their own thoughts,
Right.
but we don't know exactly why they leaked it. Is it a good common sense thought that, because of the F tree that came out, that it was said, but do we have actual fact that that's why that F tree came out? Yeah, it makes sense, but it's like not fact. Like you didn't see that in paperwork somewhere from, but we did see the Mitch Westerman thing and on from the defense team on paperwork saying that he was in the office alone and da 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 da. They apologized and stuff like that. That we know. We saw the text from Franklin to Mark Roberts where it's clearly his picture and he's, of course, why would he not be in Franklin if he
Right.
says he's in Franklin? That makes sense. That was a conversation. That makes sense. A lot of it's just like this memorandum. There's got a bunch of facts in there, and then there's got a lot of thoughts and speculation about what happened. You know?
Yeah. One thing I will say, I support anyone's right to peacefully protest or what. I mean, if you want to protest that the sky is not blue, you should have the right to do so.
Absolutely.
One thing I will say,
God
I think
told
a
us.
lot of people have a misunderstanding of something, and the 27th of November is the date that Gull has to respond to this writ of mandamus.
Yeah.
It's in no way saying that 27th is the day that the Supreme Court will
Remove goal.
it's in no way to say that the 27th is the date that they will file their order or make their decision. And I think Travis said that there's no way that they would probably even make that decision on the 27th. That it's just that's when she has to file the response by, and that it could actually be till the end of December. They don't have a time limit on when they execute their decision. So I think that I think a lot of us have our hopes up that this will have some sort of resolution come next week, but there's no guarantee whatsoever that we will have an answer to that writ of mandamus scenario next week or even this month.
Yeah, we'll have to let that play out.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people think that that's the date they're going to make.
No, the response has to be in from Gull.
Yeah, it is not the day they have to make the decision. They don't have a deadline for that.
Right, exactly. So there's going to be some more motions filed, like Travis was saying, in the upcoming week here, of course. But it's Gull's. Yeah, it's Gull's. Oh, there's Travis. Not even close. They will reach a decision. Yeah. Rick's lawyer will file a motion for leave to file a reply up figure before the end of the year for a decision. Yeah. Oh, well, 26.
And I wasn't necessarily talking about the people that are organizing it. I'm just talking about, I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding of the fact that that's the day the Supreme Court will hand down their decision. And that's not
Are they going for
given whatsoever.
Is it for their Sixth Amendment right type of thing? Is that the gist of the protest for the most part is about the Sixth Amendment right? or what?
If you look at their post, their goal is to have Gull removed, to have Andrew Baldwin and Rosie reinstated, and
Oh,
for
okay.
there to be a speedy trial put in place.
Okay.
But the language they're using to get people to that might support Richard Allen, or that might think Richard Allen is guilty, they're saying that it's to represent all of us, to represent all of our constitutional rights, and to protect all of our Sixth Amendment rights. But their own flyer says that they want Gull removed, Baldwin and Rosie reinstated, and a speedy trial.
Yeah. For me personally, like I said, I'm just waiting to see what happens. If Fran Gull is wrong, and they recuse,
and if she can even stay on, if her health even allows her to.
Because I don't for me, I just don't care about that part of it. It's like you do, but you don't. Because, first of all, I'm Canadian. You guys are American. You guys have all your First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendments, and all this stuff. So I can understand that you guys fight for those rights and stuff like that. But again, for me, this is a process, an unfortunate one that's been going on with Delphi for the poor girls. I just want it to get to the point that part of it's settled, and then we move back on to the right track. And again, if Richard Allen is found guilty at some point or not, then, whatever, the way it's going to work out, the way it's going to go. At the end of the day, it's going to go the way it's going to go. There's no changing the course. The course might change along the way, but there's no changing the, freaking when the stars are aligned and how the course goes. It will go the way it is. So if Richard Allen goes to court and there's not enough to freaking, charge him, or whatever, not enough juries. But this did its point. They like this passed. Okay, you guys passed. You guys got your point out there. You wanted it out there. You wanted all these theories. You wanted people to create reasonable doubt. It's done that. Absolutely.
They achieved their goal 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, if I had Rosie and Baldwin for lawyers and they did this shit for me, I'd be like, thank you so much, to be honest with you, because they truly are representing their client, even if he's guilty as shit, and they don't think so. But even if he is, they're doing a damn good job at what they're supposed to be doing. And I can't fault them for that. Now, if Fran Gull took him off the case because of all those instances, and it becomes, to fruition that they're off the case for good, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that's the way the ball bounces. Because obviously, if the Supreme Court finds that that is the case, that there is gross negligence going on, and if they don't find gross negligence going on, then obviously things are going to twist back the other way again. But I'm waiting for that part to play out in the court.
Right. But also, can it not also then be argued that, if they were, to be reinstated, and let's say that Richard Allen is convicted, hypothetically, would that not then also set up an immediate grounds for an appeal? Because Richard Allen then would then have the ability to say, my attorneys were incompetent, and they gave me,
well, haven't they said that all along?
I'm sorry?
Haven't they said that all along, really, that this...
Right, well, so I'm saying, Richard Allen then, because that in itself, if they get reinstated, would be an immediate grounds for an appeal. So this is not an easy answer, because I know people are like, oh, well, if they don't reinstate them, it's grounds for appeal. Or if they let Gull stay on, it's grounds for appeal. If they reinstate those two attorneys, it's an immediate grounds for an appeal.
Mm-hmm. Only amendment that matters is the 21st Amendment. Oh, it's so nice that you brought up my age as well as the amendment. Thank you. Love your stream.
I think you meant to say, because we're in America, and the only ones that matter are the second and the first.
Hey, Adam, how many amendments do you guys have over there?
What?
How many amendments do you guys have over there?
Oh, who can keep track at this point?
That's
my way of saying I don't know.
Or what's the 21st Amendment?
No, I'm playing Travis. I know that I knew you were talking about.
What is he talking about? I don't know. Is it going past my head?
Siri, what's the 21st Amendment?
So you don't know either, do you? You're playing smart, but you're not. You don't know what he means either, do you? Because I thought it stopped at 10.
Oh yeah, the 21st Amendment that repealed the 18th Amendment.
Eh? What?
Wait, which had mandated
right.
nationwide prohibition of alcohol. Wait, what?
Is you talking about your 21st Amendment to drink there, buddy? Is that the one that you're talking about? Like I said, I wish that this was alcohol, but no, it's water.
Repealed prohibition.
Repealed. Oh, don't start talking dirty to me like that. Repealed. I gotta freaking Google this. Prohibition. Oh, meaning amendment. Oh, there is an amendment. Amendment 21 to the Constitution was ratified on December 5th, 1933. It repealed the previous 18th Amendment, which had established a nationwide ban on the manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcohol. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. There. I'm sitting there like, fucking, how many amendments you guys got over there? Shit. Freaking, I need some of these type of rights. So
I'm so slow. I'm like, wait. I'm like, how does that relate to this case?
Well, no,
and then I get these.
I was thinking it was
I'm literally sitting here trying to rack my brain for like, how can I make the analogy to this case? And I'm like, oh wait, he's just joking.
You know what I was thinking? I was just thinking, well, the transportation of alcohol, because probably Travis is over there going, I'm sitting in this chair, but if I get up, I'll probably fall flat on my face. So how do I transport my butt from the fridge to grab another one and then come back to my chair again? Well, that's your 21st Amendment, right?
I'll speak for Cold Truth when I say they should create a 28th Amendment, and that should be that alcohol should never contain fresh bananas.
Oh, shut your face. Yes, they should.
It's an inside joke.
You guys, can I just tell you one thing? How many of you guys here have had a Caesar before? A Caesar drink? I know we're totally off topic.
As an Augustus or the haircut or the salad or...
Is that called David Hennessy? He says, I've switched from bourbon to Hennessy. Is that David Hennessy? Swinger. What did you say about Caesars?
Well, I said, are you referring to Augustus or the salad or...
no, the drink.
Haircuts?
No, the Caesar, the drink. Clamato juice, Caesar, celery stick.
No, I know.
What do you call those Caesars?
Are you talking about a bloody... Wait,
you guys call them a Bloody Mary.
Wait, a Bloody Mary?
We call them Caesars.
Oh.
Clamato juice fucking sucks, people. Okay? I don't know. And you know what? Okay? Effing sucks. Okay, maybe it's because my mom forced that Clamato shit juice down our throat when we were kids, and we freaking would sit there for hours at the table. And I'm sorry.
Are you talking about tomato juice?
What?
Are you talking about tomato juice? Like,
it's called Clamato. Clamato. It's like tomato juice, but it's called Clamato. Yeah. So we call it Caesar over here. But anyways, so I thought it was a feminine drink, right? Your little Bloody Mary over there. So I see all these guys ordering these freaking Caesars, and I'm sorry, but and like I said, maybe it's because my mom forced that shit down us when we were kids. Not the Caesar, because obviously we're not little drunks as kids, but I just mean the Clamato juice stuff.
Clam? What is
what?
You the clam and tomato juice? What?
It's called Clamato. Clamato.
I don't like this. I don't like anything about it.
What? It's Clamato. Yeah, this. Hold on. You guys know what
I've
I'm
never
talking
heard of it.
Hold on. Big picture.
It has clam brine broth in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a vegetarian, so I can't drink it.
On there. But it's Like you guys use whatever, but I can't remember what I was watching on that. You guys, yes. Hold on. I gotta show this clamato juice now.
They sell the actual juice. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's horrifying.
No.
It's got dried clam broth in it. Ugh.
Oh, trust me. You'd probably have an OG over this. Trust
I
me.
would. Well, I'm a vegetarian. I wouldn't drink it.
Banana or celery? Celery. Yeah, celery. But all I can say is, let me just say this though. One of the worst tasting drinks I ever want to have. This chick said that she was going to make the most best, whatever. So I thought I'd try it. Honestly, one sip over the freaking rail it went. Oh, it was nasty. But you guys have Bloody Marys. Same idea. But I really thought like this was a feminine drink. And all I know is that, oh, can I have a Caesar, please? Caesar, please? Caesar, please? And I'm like, yeah, fruitcakes? Really? You want Caesars? That's a girly drink. Apparently not. Apparently I was wrong. Anyways, it's a disgusting drink. Like I love ketchup, I love all that,
Well,
but
yeah,
throw that.
I love a Bloody Mary,
Yeah,
but I don't want bacon in it, and I don't want clam anything. God, ugh.
this is
But
absolutely Travis's fault for that whole 21st
but
Amendment.
you know what? Travis is right, Sonny. Because look at this comment.
Aspen has led a very sheltered life. I need to take him around to the bars in Savannah and try. Oh, yeah.
That's because I'm so sweet and innocent.
Yeah. Could you just hook him up while you're there too?
Hey,
Sweet
but
and innocent.
I love Savannah and Charleston. They're two
Yeah.
of my favorite cities.
Hey, before do you guys have anything else that you guys want to say with regards to this? Because
You mean Elvis or the Clamato juice?
no, the Clamato juice. No, Elvis. You only because really for me, Elvis DNA, dude, it's not there. You would have been arrested. There's so much broken to the whole Brad Holder thing. You know, it doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, grandma always told me if it doesn't make sense, it's because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But anyways, Richard
And
Allen.
I just one more time want to say, I'm not discouraging anyone from looking into these other avenues, but just remember the fact that the only information that we have about Elvis Fields and about anyone else that's mentioned in this memorandum is from this memorandum. We don't know how thoroughly law enforcement actually investigated these people, and they may have done an incredibly thorough investigation. The defense team is not going to put every single thing into the memorandum unless it supports the narrative that they're writing for. And if we know that, presumably, which is speculation, if Elvis Fields' sisters were both interviewed, one of them 3 times that we know of, and he was interviewed multiple times, to me, they investigated him quite thoroughly, and for whatever reason concluded he had no involvement. I'm not discrediting the ex-defense team for writing this memorandum and putting him into it. I just think it's really important to remember the context of what you're reading and the fact that you're not reading every piece of the story.
Hey, there's a couple of things that are pissing me off a little right now. Well, 2 things in particular.
Am I responsible for any of them?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
So I seen criminality. She kept grabbing photos like from here, and I figured, oh, she's just clicking on it and then it's showing up there. So I have about 5 open. So I'm not sure exactly how she's doing that because I just do what I do. Okay, I figure out what I need to know, even though I'm sure there's shorter ways. And then the second thing is that how does Bob Mata sit there and do all his super chats at the end of the live? Like, how does he go to them all at the end? Because normally they go up through the stream, but they all of a sudden just start clicking on them. And I'm like, where's that? Where's that? So, when you come across something.
Is it if you star the comment, Sonny? I think that's what it is. I think if someone does a super chat and you star the comment, it keeps them all there so you can go back to them.
Travis, just feel free to donate $1,000 to the cause, and I'll star it and make sure that you're important at the end of this live stream. Mm. You're drunk, so I could probably get away with that. Probably, aren't you? With your 21 First Amendment over there. Adam, don't try to pretend like you're tired.
Oh, I am.
I found an apartment to buy um, in Vancouver House on Howe Street. Okay, dude, you gotta be having a good few couple $1,000,000 there, I'm sure, right? All right, because the only place you're getting in Vancouver, you ain't getting it for underneath $1,000,000 for sure, unless it's a piece of shit. Because those homes in Vancouver are at least a good
I'll buy you one, Sonny.
freaking. Would you?
Absolutely.
Well, that's more than Callie would do. That's for
Not
sure.
not until Christmas though. You'll have to wait.
Let's see. Angela Thomas or Psychic Sleuth? Which one? Or do you want the power of Sunny? Shut up. It's probably saying I want the psychic. I think you probably do, but then you're just going to piss the psychic off. And then you're never going to get your wishes coming true or your things ever told to you. I'm not sure. Exchanges. Oh, right. You guys have the exchange. Okay. So instead of 2 million, it's probably 1.5. And that's probably that's lowballing it, probably. I'm not sure exchange I'm getting. Look up Vancouver House on how. Well, wouldn't you know how much it costs to tell me? And save me the fact of looking it up if you're going to go look at a house. Pretty sure you should know that number yourself over there, Texan. Yeah. I thought
you have to have an upper floor, Travis, or it's not worth it.
Oh, absolutely. Not an upper floor anything crazy. Mid-level Bayview. You might want to consider going to I think why can't I think of it all of a sudden? Can't think. Either way, housing is crazy. If my twins' place gets $1.6 million for a 3-bedroom,
Right, and that's a modest home.
Basic home.
Yeah,
okay?
And like you said, it's pretty, but it's a modest home.
That's in Langley, not Vancouver.
Yeah. Hey, but the car break-ins are free.
Yes, it's like V8. Thank you. Yeah, the car break-ins are free. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, insurance, don't sweat it. It's just going to raise every other year, a couple thousand probably bucks on there. You know, I recommend East Hastings. You know,
that's hasty.
East Hastings, I'll tell you, get something pretty cheap, I'm sure, in that part of the freaking Vancouver. Okay, so I'm literally sick of looking at that Clamato thing.
Yeah, I can't. As soon as you said clam, I was like, nope.
I'm gonna put back up my picture. Enjoy this one. Okay. Might not be able to deal with it.
I do need to go soon though. Sorry.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Good, bye. We're good, aren't we, guys? No, just Charmaine was like, here's $14. Here's $13.99. See you guys later. We only need two, about 6 weeks a year, and then Airbnb the rest of the time. Oh, no problem. Just rent it out to us cheap. No problem. We'll take care of it for you. Leave your vehicles behind too, whatever you need. Just no bringing up any BB guns up here, eh? Yeah.
No, I don't envy you, Kathy.
Good night, my friends. I'm babysitting for. Oh, I envy you. 4 months.
4 months. That's so rough.
Oh, I love children. Is that a Terry red line? What's a Terry red line? Terry red line picture. What do you mean I painted that? Absolutely. That's a Picasso right there. Okay. Do you like it? When I seen this picture, I had to paint it.
You can barely see the paint by numbers behind the paint.
As if, yeah. You know what I love is like the trees and the look of the water, is that you can take. It always amazes me how you can turn some things, into real looking trees and,
Kind
stuff
of like
like
this, kind of like this memorandum.
yeah. Look,
I'm just
Terry
playing.
Redlin. Okay, Terry Redlin. Terry Redlin. Redline. Paintings, I guess. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, no, but I got yeah, stuff like that. I do love stuff like that. I like I like scenery. Like there's another one that I love that is out there, and I've painted a couple of them in different colors. And it's kind of like when you and it's so easy to do. I need to teach you guys how to paint this one because it's the lady that has like it's all black and white, and then she has like her red umbrella and her black jacket with the black hair, but it's like the rest of it's all done in white and black. And it looks like a lady walking when it's raining down the street with her umbrella. So cool. Actually, you guys really okay. For me, 20 minutes. For you guys, 30 minutes perhaps. It's one of those things that you look at it and go, oh, but it's actually really easy to do. You guys know which one I'm talking about? The lady with the red and jacket walking down into the rain into the city type of thing. Yeah, just gorgeous. Water. Yeah. Yeah. So, but this is see, like I love painting and I miss painting right now. It's not that I'm a great painter, but I'm a decent painter. Um, and it's not. I don't want to. Let me put it this way. Thank you tutorials because they help me understand how to get things to look a certain way, in a sense. So, and then usually what happens is that I see a painting. If I really like something, and then I'll follow what's his name? There's this guy. He's on Patreon. And anyways, he does such beautiful work. Um, but what happens is that I start following him, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, now it's a sunny twist on it. Thank you. I I can't. Everything has to have my own spin twist on it. Still, it can't be exactly like theirs. So I just start, getting the gist of what it is
Right.
that I'm doing. And then I'm like, sweet. Yeah. $1,000. Telling you right now, Travis, cheap. Yeah. And look at it. It has a house. You can just jump through the painting and live in that house right there on the water with some snow. Then they want to know what numbers are. I can't say I've ever done paint by numbers. Maybe those things that you put into the oven and you guys remember what is it? The hook,
The
the
clay too.
crochets, the macrames,
Right.
not macrames.
I'm not. I can't paint at all. I'm not. I'm not. I'm. It's funny because I have an artistic job, but I'm not artistic at all. Like when it comes to that
You're
kind
a
of stuff. No.
dancer. So you know what? My husband,
I'm
he
too.
was
I'm too. I'm too middle brained.
oh well, let's give him credit there where it's yeah, okay. No, but because you guys know my husband's a cancer as well, right? But he's like he likes to draw things before he builds them. So he'll sit there. So painting and all that, nah. But he sometimes we'll grab some bird houses and see who does better. I usually win, okay. But anyways, but he's one of those ones that like my husband could build you whatever. I don't even know what to say. My husband can pretty much do everything. He's so impressive to me. The stuff that my husband can do, and sometimes people just have it or they don't. You either listen to people growing up and you get that knowledge, or you become lazy and do nothing with yourself in a sense. Me, I was always like a thirst for only with things that I like doing though. Okay. Stick me in math class, F, have a good day. Stick me in science, great, have a good day, D. Stick me in art, sports, music, anything like that, I'll excel because I get excited by that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
so and
See,
that's
and
why
now I love science and all that stuff. I didn't like it when I was a kid, but
no, no, no. It still sucks. Like,
you
like
know,
as you get older, it's not so repulsive. But when you're in school, I'm not gonna lie, I was too busy cheating during those classes because my brain power just didn't want to learn that. It was boring to me.
Right.
And the minute
Like
they,
you want to go back to all those teachers that were like, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket every day when you're, you know, that now I want to be like, now, oh, really? Because yes, I do.
you know what? I have trauma from grade 3 from when train A was going 10 miles per hour and train B was going like 5 miles per hour. So how long did it take train A and train B? That was grade 3. Okay. Trauma. Couldn't understand math after that. Before that, times 9 times
Sunny,
9, 81.
you just needed to be like me and be like, well, we'll never know because neither ever met their destination.
The cheese is real. The cheese is real.
Due
Absolutely.
to the traumatic derailing.
Yeah. 20. I wonder, we just don't have the space in this small apartment because I would love to do a painting. Maybe I'll try to figure something out where I can tell you guys to grab like 3 colors of paint and one of those, dollar store canvases. It doesn't matter what size it is because it could be this small, like maybe we'll just do a small one. Maybe we'll just do a small one together, you know? And then you can just throw it in your bathroom above the toilet or something like that, but maybe we'll do a small one together, and we'll do that. The one that I say is probably the easiest, which you guys will love, that female one. If you don't know which one I'm talking about, I have it, but it's not. I'd have to dig through my pictures and find it. But and if I have time, I'll do that. Because I know that there's people, that are artsy fartsy. And for the rest of you guys can just go visit Tom or go visit, freaking Frank, or
So
go
you
visit.
remember how I teased last week that our favorite person named Tom was going to be releasing a 7 hour and 15 minute video, and then he did.
I don't know who Tom
Um,
is.
um, anyone with about 45 minutes that's available tomorrow. I know someone that's putting out a video that I'm gonna watch once it comes out. So if you
Howdy,
have good taste, what?
howdy.
No.
Oh,
Although I love Howdy. But if you like Fig Solves, I
oh,
maybe I would look out for a new video by him that he's been working on to come out in the next day or two. That's about 45 minutes long.
oh, fuck it. So it's not a
But
funny one. This one.
don't tell him I told you guys.
Fig, definitely. Okay. X-nay on the X-nay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
because I haven't seen it, so what if it's really bad?
Cold truth there isn't just talking about my painting. She's talking about me. I loved it someday when somebody said, like the painting you did behind you. Yeah. Google. I could do that. No problem. But
I'm not a painting. It's just what I look like.
now you guys got me all excited because Christmas is just around the corner. You guys have your Thanksgiving. I'm just waiting for you guys to get that out of the way, to be honest with you. I'll celebrate it with you guys on Thursday, and Alexa will be here as well. I think she'll be here tomorrow too, but I'll have to ask her. And anyways, we'll get that out of the way, and then straight onwards and upwards to Christmas after that, guys. Yep. We're going to be decking some,
Right.
we're going to be chugging some, yeah. Travis, you're not going to want to miss that part on there. Crochet toilet paper, cozy on there. But yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta go. Is
I do.
that what you're gonna say?
Are you
Okay.
gonna stay on?
I'm just gonna stay a few more minutes because I got nothing better to do until I got about another 20 minutes in me till my husband says, gotta go to bed soon.
All right. Well, I will see everyone later. Sunny, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So,
Um
good night, everyone.
Okay, bye. Oh, okay. That's what we're talking about. Okay, now party pooper's gone. That's it. I love eggnog. That's my favorite. Eggnog and rum, Travis. Travis, you're probably passed out now. You probably couldn't transport your butt from the freaking 21 First Amendment there in the whatever ninth parallel or anything like that. Yeah, eggnog. Oh my, Ivy. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. Cold truth, Mel. I totally forgot about eggnog. Normally, I'm thinking like months ahead about eggnog. I love eggnog and rum. Okay, but eggnog by itself is cool too. Yeah. Daisy says, "Good night, Aspen. Glad that you're going now. Now I got Sunny to myself." Um. Oh, see, there we go. Sunny, the reflections are awesome. Yeah, isn't it cool? Like just to create that, So even though uh, before we moved to this place, I would just, when I started actually kind of painting, it was because I was too cheap ass to go buy paintings for the wall. And I was like, why? Why? I can just paint paintings for the wall. What do I need to go up buy them for? But I truly, it's very relaxing, you know, especially if you guys watch those tutorials on painting and stuff like that. It's really not that hard, but you have to have some sort of creative ability. Some people just have none whatsoever. Those are the people that, just listen and eat, drink, and be merry during the live or something like that. But like to create the trees and the water look and stuff like that, it's cool, right? I always find that so beautiful when you look at someone's painting and it truly looks like water, with the snow and the reflections of the trees. Yeah, yeah. The only thing that's killing me is that I turned into a diabetic last, like, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? No, last year. I think it was, no, was it last year? Shit, can't remember now. I think it was last year on there. I buy paintings from the store and revamp them. Oh, that's cool. You got to show me one. You got to send me a picture of one. Send it in Messenger. Abby had jeans or sweatpants. No, Abby. So Libby was said to have had sweatpants, but then it came out about the jeans. But Becky had said, when I asked Becky about that, she said that she always believed that Libby had jeans on. But then not that long ago or whatever, because it had come out about the sweatpants, or sorry, the jeans. And then she said that, yeah, it was jeans. So, I mean, that's information that was already out there. So I just asked her if she could confirm that for me. But anyways, so Abby had on what I believe to be Libby's jeans. If you look at them, because at first I thought, no, these are still Abby's jeans, you know, um, but they're just too wide because we're females. We know this shit, you know, like we'll know this shit more than men will know this shit when it comes to jeans, and especially skinny jeans. You know that you can't make them that wide, and Abby had on skinny leg jeans. Um, Abby was, well, you can't really tell because they have, those have the jean look, so it's darker. So I remember watching a piece of Greeno's video when he was doing this um what do you want to call it, at the crime scene site when they went down there with people before, and then they were showing the guy's pants that was in the water and you actually couldn't tell. So if I was to guess, no, I don't even want to guess, because if I was to guess, I would say that they look more wet. Um, and I could be wrong here, but I'm going to assume that Libby perhaps fell in the water, crossing, versus Abby that didn't, because Abby's dry and Libby's not. So I'm thinking that perhaps that she would have fallen into the water, going across, stumbled or whatever. And that's just speculation, but I mean, there's definitely a difference between dry and wet, in somebody's hair. Only a few states have that in. Oh yeah, right. We were on eggnog. You almost made me forget that for a second. I just love eggnog. Travis, are you still here? Travis. Um, Cold truth. Maybe there's a pic of Livy with the same jeans on there. Ivy, what I was trying to look at was the jeans that are on Abby on the bridge. And I was trying to look for those same type of markings that perhaps were on the jeans that she was wearing. Now I didn't look overly hard, but based on the width, I'm thinking that they are Libby's, and I'm sure that they would know that from the sizing, you know. Like, meaning that's something that to me would be not fabricated because of that reason of the sizing, right? Abby's obviously is small, and Libby's obviously like more of like a large size. Whatever I don't know, small, medium, large, but I don't know, like, I don't say 28. Like when I was then I was like 26, you know, 28, that area. So however you guys do your jeans over there, small, medium, large, or use numbers, I'm not really sure. Abby has on Libby's sweatshirt that really stands out. You know, you guys, okay, okay. That's driving me crazy, okay? Because when you guys are thinking about the whole, like just everything to do with the crime scene, to do with the girls that day, and you think, okay, so you think, well, if it's just one person, and let's just hypothetically say Richard Allen, okay? Let's just use him because he's the one that's in jail right now. Um, so if it's Richard Allen, right, and he did it by himself, why? Like, what purpose? Why? Why would Libby be nude and and Abby have on the black swimming, which are Kelsey's? Okay, let's get that straight. Those are Kelsey's. Kelsey gave them those jackets. Those are Kelsey's. Okay, those aren't Libby's jackets. Those were Kelsey's. So just for reference, so people do say Libby's, but really they're Kelsey's jackets or hoodies or whatever you want to call them. But why? Why would someone do that? Leave Abby's shirt on. It's the same color. Leave. Fuck me, it's heartbreaking when I think of. I get so upset when I think of these beautiful girls. I mean, it was bad enough that you basically knew, but if there's one thing I will say that I'm gonna agree, and this is only by what I've seen, I don't feel like the crime scene, from what I've seen, I don't think it's as grotesque as what I had in my head of what it was, of what the way Doug Carter talked. Like, you guys can watch a documentary and see way, way, way worse. So I thought it was going to be way worse. Um, and that's what I was dreading because I really was torn because you guys know, and like others would say, it's not about wanting to see Abby and Libby. It was wanting to see the crime scene and what was there. Did it make sense? Because it was always to me that the crime scene would tell a story. But it's not like these pictures are out wide and you're seeing like the full angle of it. It's not like that. And so in your head, you're trying to think like, so Richard Allen, if it's Richard Allen, right? If it turns out that by cameras, his vehicle is there, he's there exactly at the time that the girls were there and stuff like that. And then he puts himself at the bridge and everything like that. Like, that will come down to some cameras and times right there, right? That's going to come out and that's probably going to be, one of those ones that's going to be like, oh, sorry, RA, got your car there, dude. You got, da, da, da. But one person say gun. Okay, I can handle that. I can handle one person using a gun to guide the girls down. And perhaps maybe Libby tripped in the water. Perhaps she tried running and then fell in the water. Perhaps that's why she was at. But what would make someone take off the clothes of one and put them on the other? Like, forget the runes, okay? Those aren't runes. It might be a mimicking of runes, but do not call them Odinist runes. Perhaps a fake staging of a ritual. Okay. But what would make someone do that? Steal a sock, steal underwear, put the clothes into the river, right? So you probably know that the first item is Libby's shirt, then the second item, and people always had this one wrong. Um, to me, that would be the gray sweatshirt. You know, when you pull the arm out and then it goes whatever. That's the gray sweatshirt that Libby would or Abby had on the bridge, because remember they kept saying that was the girls' clothes in the water. Perhaps the other pink sock. I'm not sure if that's Libby's or Abby's. There's like something that looks like a sock. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a sock. So there's one sock missing. And this is what was so strange is because Kagan Klein had a sock fetish, you know? But what would make a person take, put, like why? What would be the purpose of that? So there has to be something. There's no way, if this is Richard Allen, there's no way that there's no freaking evidence on his freaking devices or computer somewhere. He would have had a trail. No one person just goes out with freaking not doing searches or not doing anything and having nothing on their device and then take the girls' lives. Okay. So there has to be either something there. And if there's not, I wouldn't know what to say then, because you got him placing himself there. You got a bullet that's between the girls. Like, no matter what, even if they take that out of the whole thing, you got to still have it in your head. Like, look, what's the chances that he's there and there's a bullet to the gun and they're saying that the markings match his gun? Hi, Crimezilla. Let me go to what you guys are doing because I'm just totally in my own brain as I'm saying that. Right? Two bras, okay. And that can make sense to a female. You're a female. Are you a little gambler? You female, right? I've seen it done. Absolutely. Um, Kind of like the double shirts and stuff like that. Like the trends and stuff like that. But it just really depends if you have a sports bra and a regular bra. I think it has something to do with caring for Abby and making her cozy. As weird as that sounds. Yeah, but she had a jacket on already. She had pants on already. So I get it. I get it. It's almost like this one's being treated, like she's special in a sense. And Libby's being treated, like she's not. It's like, you know, water and fire type of thing. But again, then you can't help it. Is that a misdirection as well? Is it a misdirection that to make it seem like it was Libby when really it was about Abby? Is it an actual fantasy, living out? But he would have to have something. Richard Allen would have to have something and all those things. Look at you guys, they were looking for someone that was a knife collector. They were looking for a video. Richard Allen has freaking oodles of freaking knives in the Discovery. He has tons of phones in the Discovery. Um, you know, he matches like the whole freaking thing really. Um, by himself though. It's hard thinking about a gnome, doing all of this by himself. It is hard. I mean, it's just, how do you take a case that was so this and now it's like, wait, one guy did all this and it was for an actual fantasy? That was really it? Could be. Absolutely could be, you guys. Absolutely. And this was just a misdirection, but it just seems so strange that somebody comes in behind the girls like 20 minutes later, type of idea, rushes past people. And I always felt like he was on a mission. And then that one girl said that it was like he was on a mission. I forgot they say that about her. Right. Like, okay, like I said, you know, um, I'm looking at those photos. I'm going, I didn't see nothing there. I don't see no freaking cats or bunnies or, whatever. But like from what I saw, for the most part, we got sticks, and that red stuff, but no, I don't see no shrine. I don't see anything about spray bottle, but then that, like, you just don't see that. So we also don't know when those crime scene photos were taken, if they were taken, if things were removed first and, they were taking pictures. We don't know that. We don't know that. You know, we don't know what stage that those were taken. So just imagine, okay? Just imagine if, okay, the photos that have been out there, just imagine if there are a photo that did have antlers, but why would you take a picture of this without the antlers? But is it plausible that one with antlers could possibly come out? Well, I mean, he ruined it for me about the DNA with the whole spit thing. But is it plausible? Because there's obviously more pictures. But besides, so I always figured that the crime scene would kind of more tell the story. But Richard Allen has never made sense to me. It's not that he couldn't make sense, but it came to a stop with Richard Allen. Nobody could find shit on the guy, okay? Social media presence, unless he was smart from way back years ago and was undercover underneath different names and stuff. I don't know. He doesn't seem like that bright of a bulb to do stuff like that. Kagan Klein ain't no bright bulb, probably thought he was. Garrett Kurtz thought he was a freaking. Chris Mathis thought he was a freaking rocket scientist there too. Maybe they're a target. I know. No matter where you go with Delphi, the minute you think this, there's something that's going to make you think this again. And then you're going to be, well, that doesn't make sense. So, let me just go back to this one over here, and this one, 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 and this one. And that's how Delphi is. The minute you start thinking that you have a little bit of grasp of knowledge, it's just like, no. Maybe use the sock to clean up with. What for? There's all that water there. What for? Like that's the thing. There's all that water. So if Libby fell in the water, yeah, she probably would have had to died on the land for sure. On there. I kind of feel like that's why Libby would be wet. Because she probably tripped, You sock like a wash. You sock like a washcloth in river. Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, if you did, you'd have DNA, right? It was found the next day. If someone used a sock to wash, there would be fibers and DNA to me. Like you wouldn't want to risk that. I'm not sure what you're saying yes to. I've said a lot of things in a little bit of time. I can't keep my O's. Good night, Gail. Love you. Have a great night. Sweet dreams. Not sure about the pants. Maybe the jacket was wet. I know the pants look wet. They have like that wet look, but it's hard to tell. And what's this motion for? What's this motion for? That reminds me, when would you guys think to do this? When would you guys think to have your hands like this? Were they placed like that? Like, I think that they're in the thing like this. Yeah, that's right. Like, like when would you think to do that? When would you think, right? Like, Libby. Okay, makes sense if she's being dragged. That's why one arm's up. That makes sense. And then Abby has the leg underneath. She has her right leg underneath her left leg. You shut up down there. You peed on the bed, you little bitch. Get out of my face, actually. No, you shut up. You made me do laundry. But yeah, so what are you guys saying about that? Let me see what you guys are saying about that. Total. Right. Brainstorming for years. Oh yeah, it hurts the brains. Like honestly, I get frustrated. I'm like, what always hurt the most is that the girls were there up on the bridge, and all I could picture them is being in that spot that they knew that they were in trouble, and those people on the Down the Hill podcast, they're talking about listening to the tape, and you could just see it. It was so heart-wrenching because these girls knew that something was going to happen, and all they did was just go to the bridge to have a nice day out on an off school day, a snow day, and then to be murdered. Not only to be murdered, but then to be posed. And Abby looks so peaceful. I understand now why when Anna said that it was peaceful, like it looked peace. Abby was peaceful, not Libby, but Abby was. And it's just to sit there and feel myself what Becky, Patty, Mike, Patty, Kelsey, Anna, Carrie, but those poor people had to come across the next day. Who would have thought in little Delphi that something like that would have happened to those poor girls? Like, when you love something so much that it hurts your heart, that's how I feel about Abby and Libby. You know, where you just feel like, yeah, they're not ours, but they are ours in a sense because you just love them so much that you just want justice for them, and you don't give a shit so much about anything else. You just want that person that is being tried, or persons are brought to justice for what happened to them. That's why that video was important to me. And always, oh God, now I'm tearing up. Okay. Ugh. Anyways, that's why that video was so important, because Libby was brave enough to take that video, and it's the, even though they're fine, okay, they're fine, but even though on earth here, the pain and suffering for the family, and that the person needs to have justice, and I get really afraid that we might not see that for these girls, because every time you think that something's on a path, it's gone totally opposite, and so imagine if we're pissed off by what's going on. That has nothing, we're not even close to what the family members must be feeling. The sticks are significant, but I don't get it. For me, Cold Truth, exactly. The only thing that always goes through my head is when I've said that it was a misdirection. That there has to be more. There, like, when you look back at what I've said, you can tell it was referring to Libby's foot or sorry, Abby's foot, and being posed, right? But I feel like there was more to it than that. But now I can understand that reference. It was something that you would definitely want to take a picture of. Well, absolutely. There's these sticks that have some sort of design about them. And then, Libby, okay, so you just shut up over there. You want to go out? Okay, fine. Give me 1 second. And then I'll come back to your comments. Sorry, I'm just going to go that little bitch out here. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. It's like she's sitting there meowing, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, get out then. No. She just sat there. So I had to go get some bones, stick them in her dish. All right. Um, so yeah, so that's about the sticks. Cold truth is that they're definitely placed there. But whether it was a distraction or meant to look like, like a distraction meant to look like a ritual, but really it wasn't, because a true Odinist, or at least even someone that even knew something about Odinism, wouldn't lay the sticks like that. That's a very pathetic attempt if that was anyone trying to portray an Odinist. Possibly they were taken by the killer before the horns and leaves were put on them. Taken by the killer. I just can't see, since there's no horns, on that. Um, since there's no horns and barely any leaves, like I just can't see why they would take that picture. Like that picture would still have horns in it and leaves to me. I'm just trying to, think out loud and stuff like that. I just it Richard Allen just doesn't make sense. There has to be something about, if it's Richard Allen, there has to be something about him. There's either another person involved, or there's stuff that's what we have no clue about, because it wouldn't make sense to have nothing on his devices. So I don't believe the defense for that. Myself, I believe they're not going to put in anything in that memorandum that says he has anything on his devices. Them saying that they haven't gone through everything yet clearly leaves an open path. But wouldn't that still be considered random? At the end of the day, I mean, this could have been random. The whole, like, I always thought it was definitely a lure, even when everyone was saying it wasn't a lure, that it was random and stuff like that. Like, they would say it was pre-planned in the sense that, like, that he went out there with a purpose. So whether it was Abby and Libby as a target or somebody else or whatever. And then when the whole Kagan Klein thing came out, then it was bam. Yeah, pre-planned, right? Right? Girls were lured out there. I'll still never forget when Max Snowberger said that Libby in the December area, January, but more I think probably December. So remember that Anthony Schott's account, December 26th. Funny how the December 26th, Garrett Kurtz is freaking talking about freaking girls in a freaking shed and stuff like that with this other guy. And same day that Anthony Schott's account freaking request is December 26th. But he said that, remember when Max Snowberger said that Libby was asking him for help. She was blowing up his phone because someone was bugging her on Facebook and whatever. And then she ended up saying that she dealt with it or whatever. So I would assume that would be blocked and whatever. That was in that area time. Stuff like that sticks in my head because it just sticks there, obviously, because of the time frame of that, and that somebody was, obviously someone was bugging her enough that she kept blowing up Max Snowberger's phone. And he's the one that said that in that Hannah Shakespeare, once in a lifetime, I think whatever that one's called. Their pants had to be wet at the very least. Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, they weren't found till the next day though. So, right? So 13 to the 14th, they didn't have to be wet. So, like for instance, like Libby's hair is like slicked, like kind of like slick Nick, that type of thing. There's so many different things. Yeah, Libby's 200 pounds athletic. Abby's 100 pound. What? Wait, what? The sock he took supposedly. Sock and underwear, remember? Or was it undergarment? No, sock. It was sock and underwear. If Libby is right in the photo, they had to be took by the killer. She had to have been dry by the time she was found. 22. Well, that's just the thing. Her hair was like Slick Nick, McClelland. It just all depends what all happened. Like, honestly. Right. Like, I always love trying to solve puzzles in a sense or trying to figure out an answer. Um, so my head, it's like you think that you should be able to somehow figure this out a little bit, you know? The truth is usually near the start. The truth is usually near the start when people are talking. But I wasn't here at that point. You know, it's been like over like 3 years. But I wasn't here like some people where they like someone like Brenda. Mel, have you been here from the start as well? From for Abby and Libby? Some of you and ones that have been around. You guys are the ones that have a ton of information, from the past. I kind of got like leftovers because there was too much mush by the time I started. I investigated the angle doesn't mean there's a connection. Highly possible that the girls just walked into a trap. Yeah, yeah. Because Kagan Klein's like again, I try to look at somebody that's in a rush. Why was he in a rush? Right? The timeline shows that he's in a rush in a sense. Right? He gets there like 21 minutes for the girls, but the one girl saying that he walked like he was at a purpose, and that's just by human nature, gut instinct, right? When somebody's just gallivanting and when somebody's kind of more on a mission, you know, it just, but where's the connection? Okay, you got some knives, you got some phones, you got someone saying that, hey, I was wearing this and this, and then probably I think I was wearing a hat too. Hmm. Confessions to the wife and mother, but anyone's going to put a twist on that now because of the Odinism badges or Odin badges, you know, right? Whenever you think of this, there's always something that you can knock it away with in a sense. Who scared me? After my aunt was murdered, see through, I was 12. Yeah. Sorry about that, Mel. Like, I remember when my grandma died when I was 8, and I felt like I wanted to vomit all night. It's the first time I understood death. And that's just like regular death. Nothing to do with, there's nothing to do with anyone getting murdered that I know of in my family. That's horrific. And the one thing that's even more horrific than that is when somebody is murdered and you have no idea where their body is. That has got to be the cruelest form of punishment to any human being. That's just beyond anything. Not sure, Ivy Rose. He speaks in riddles. Who are you talking about, Ruckus? I'm just going. I don't know. I'm just saying that just because you said Ellie. I mean, I think he used Abby's upper arm to drag. Yeah, I think so. Makes sense. Name this the shack painting. Oh, no, I think I'll consider it the cabin one still. Don't want to name it the shack. No. Actually, when I think of shack, I actually think of Nicole Bowen. When I think of shack, I don't think of Delphi. Profiler said the sticks could mean victim 3, victim 4 based on the number on sticks. Victim 3, victim. Yeah. That one's going for a stretch to me. I think, well, no, because the sticks aren't like that, though. Like, the sticks aren't like, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. The sticks are this, got some coming off this way, one that goes kind of like this. Yeah. I, so, I mean, that's just by seeing the pictures, and it's not just straight on sticks like that. I mean, it's kind of like that one profiler that said that when you're looking at the runes, you also need to look at the possibility of the body, the way it's laying as well, because that might be part of it. Um, 2 crime scenes, last one pristine. Hmm? So, Mel, correct me if I'm wrong here. When Ron Logan said pristine, was that not when that they had cleaned up and they had took their shit? They had lights all going like a football field, but when they took away the crime scene, it was left pristine, almost like you wouldn't even have known that a murder's happened there. That's how I remember that. Hi, Marion. Yeah. Usually you do that when you're cold, like when you're in that position. Usually you do that if you're cold. So unless you're placed that way, usually you do that if you're cold. You know, that's what comes to my mind. I don't know what you guys were thinking there, but usually when arms are like that. So unless they're placed there, like, because if the foot's underneath the other one, underneath the leg, and this, don't know. But usually it's like when you're like, brrr, especially if you're, uh, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Oh, you know what was crazy? Oh, you guys, let me tell you something that was crazy. Now that I say this, you would have to know the Idaho 4 case. If you don't know the Idaho 4 case, it won't mean nothing to you. It was funny. I was watching the um, Kaylee Gonzalez parents giving an interview, for the 1 year anniversary. And during that interview, you guys, um, Christy, the mom, says she was asked a question about the last picture or something that Kaylee sent, and she was like, "Yeah, that was at 2:13." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Are you like legit killing me? Kidding me? Killing me?" I said 2:13. I just thought how sometimes ironic. Like, what is it about the 13 number that you just keep hearing about when it comes to these dates? Ray Hanish killed on the 13th, found on the 17th. I think the day that Karina McClurkin disappeared was on the 13th, but she was reported missing on the 15th. But 2:13, Christy said, was the last time that like Kaylee had sent her a picture that day, like that Saturday. Maybe they meant nothing to connect him to the girls or communicating with them, but that wouldn't necessarily include watching certain videos and whatnot. Hmm. Has to be something. Has to be something if it's Richard Allen. Like, I'm not talking about the motorcycle cover thing. If that's true, well, we'll wait and see if it is. You know. Hmm. Living the dream. Gonna go get some eggnog this weekend. I'll tell you that much, cold truth. Mm-mm. I think Mel watched the news when they were missing. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Hike. How are you? Well, I'm trying not to sound like Jesus, but I saw Facebook too. I saw on Facebook 213 evening. How are you? I'm gonna have to go here soon because I'm sure my husband at some point is gonna be like, honey, I've been up. Like, seriously, you guys, I totally forgot about it, but I literally haven't gone to sleep from the night before. Haha. um, Let me just put it this way. I probably make 50 cents an hour for the amount of time that I actually spend on the iPad and computer doing shit. Hello, everyone. Just joining. I will replay. Yeah. All right, Cheryl. Just hit it on like 1.5 or 2 or something like that. I really don't think the sticks have any meaning except, well, see, through, I disagree. I'm going to disagree on that one. Unless you saw the sticks yourself. And the reason I say that is because you can tell that they're not like, it's, you know what I mean? If you're trying to cover somebody, you're going to kind of put sticks like across them, type of thing. That's not what was happening here. You know, you basically, and what's with the freaking long board with Libby there? Like that freaking, it looks like a freaking piece of sawmill board on there. But it's not what I would deem as a covering up type of sticks. I thought the profiler was reaching to. Oh, I always forget their name. Yeah. I've listened to, you guys have no idea how many times I sat there with Pendulum going, please, girls, just tell me, please. I only wish I could have that gift of literally being able to, I think they call it nowadays for some psychics, they call it, oh shit, what's it called? When you're sitting at home and you're freaking watching the scene play out where they live, remote viewing, that's it. I really wish, I would so love to do that. Be able to bring peace to people that have lost a loved one and be able to have that gift. It would be an amazing gift. It gets to the point that I'm just like, come on, Abby and Libby, please, please, girls, come on. Just show me what happened. Sometimes when you want something bad enough and then it doesn't happen anyway. It's almost like your brain becomes more clouded, to be honest. In one of his 2 first interviews. I was on replay. Mel, probably because I probably seen your message now. Not really sure what it was referring to. When being attacked. Oh, how many messages? Am I behind a lot? Oh, not really. Thanks. Yeah, it came to my brain. Cool. If I spotted that for the company, I'm just going to go back up for a sec. We heard leaves were on no, not in those pictures that are out there. There's no leaves. Like there's like anything, right? Um, if I show you a piece of ground without showing you nothing else to it, and it's just a piece of ground, would you guys be okay with that? Kind of like I know Ruckus has shown, his pictures in a different way. This is just showing you a piece of ground, but it's elongated. Would you guys be okay with that or no? If no, then absolutely not. I wouldn't want to disrespect anybody, not when it comes to the girls. I'll just see if whatever people say in chat the most. Okay, so BC Hydro. Crap, it's overdue. $73.70. Buggers. I only got one sure, so you guys torn? Don't want to? Let's see here. Why can't it? Why can't it just be that he didn't get finished covering them up? No, no. I don't. I don't like. Let me put it this way, Daisy. It's one of those things that when you're looking at it, if you had to lean one way to the other, you're probably not gonna deem it as he didn't get finished, as more that they were set that way. I could be totally wrong, but I'm definitely going to lean more to the that those sticks. Trust me, there's nothing about throwing those sticks on the girls. No one's going to sit there like a campfire and go, unless besides setting them up. I think there'd be a difference. Maybe you have saw them. I don't know. No, they haven't. Yes, picture of just the ground. Like I'm just talking about like a square little picture about the yay big. It's your call. Let me just quickly take a look at it again because I just want to make sure because it's honestly, it's nothing that's gonna be like I just it's just a picture of a ground. Okay, so Sunny, did they pass on the 13th or 14th? Um, to be honest with you, only the autopsy report would know that for sure. And according to the coroner's report, but that's if you believe it's true, that's going by David Erskine's leaked text, is that it was all over by 3:30 on the 14th. Yeah, I'm not showing the girls. Like, I'm not showing you even a piece of the girls. I'm showing you a piece of ground. So if okay, let me put it this way. Let me just go to quickly take a look at it again, just to ensure on there. Okay, give me 1 second. Hold on. Oh, apparently I was talking to myself. Hmm. So what I'm saying here is if somebody doesn't want to see this thin piece of nothing besides it being ground from the area, um then then fine. If not, just leave. And if you don't feel comfortable seeing even like this, it's just leaves and sticks and it's just a very thin piece of whatever. So I'm just giving you that little heads up right now. So if you don't want to, then leave. But trust me, it's nothing jaw dropping or anything like that. um dude, I mean, you guys have if you guys have seen Ruckus's pictures, you guys got a decent idea, definitely. What am I trying to do? Oh, oh, right, okay. Stop screen, present. Right here, okay? Ready? It's not much, so don't expect much. Okay, okay. So, this is the ground above Abby, where they say that there's antlers. Now, can you guys see this? Okay. These is one of the sticks. This is another stick right here. Let me put it this way. If you're at the if you're facing the water, the feet would be towards the water. Okay, so think of that when about placement. Okay. So this is the only because this wasn't very far off, like meaning like this is the best size I could possibly give you from the picture to show you. And so picture that this is a stick from one arm in a sense, and this is a stick from another. That leaves this spacing right here. Okay. You see this piece of twig right here. Okay. This twig right here. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Touches the hair a bit. Okay. Do you guys see anything that looks like a freaking antler at all? You see leaves, you see twigs, you see whatever. Okay. There's legitly nothing here besides twigs on the ground like any other twig. Again, you guys can go look at Ruckus's pictures. Look at the ground. They're just twigs. There's no little hornies coming off. There's no antlers that are coming from here to here and stuff like that. Sorry, I'll come there. Mitch Westerman is the one that took them. They just look like random twigs. Again, when we're talking about a twig on Abby's hair, we're talking about a twig on Abby's hair partially that is crossing over the ponytail. Pretty much. That's it. Like, there's no, like, that's what you would be looking at right now. Okay. Because I've given you the full distance. So, if you think you can make horns or antlers out of that, you know, so if you saw the bigger picture, you definitely but that is the spacing that I've given you the spacing. There's nothing there at all that resembles, simulates a horn or antlers. The other sticks, definitely. Let me put it this way. There's 4 pictures out there. If people have more or others, who knows? There's 4 circulating. And a lot of people have them. And, I was torn on it. So, no, I did not see them at any point that Adam had saw them or, other people that I know had them. Okay. I literally saw them very recently because I wanted to know if there was frigging horns on top of the head or antlers. But I have seen all 4. Knowing what I was doing. So for me, there's nothing that's ever going to bring these girls back. I just didn't know if I wanted the image in my head. And I guess it's because for me, I've been looking at crime scene photos or the Devil's Hop Yard in my own photos for so long, based off of the helicopter footage. It's kind of like you just had to know. For me, I had to know if I was seeing any little animals or what shrine or something. Yeah, of course, Cheryl. That's just inevitable. For me personally, it's one of the most offensive things for sure to someone for Mitch Westerman to take and do that to the girls, having very selfish motives for doing it, obviously. But honestly, so this being probably the worst that's going around, there's been leaks the whole time, like with different things. There's been the uncle leaks of pictures, and the texts, but we'll say the pictures, right? So, this is all stuff that's been going on regardless. So you can't stop stuff that's going to happen like this. It's too bad. Like, it's too bad that they made their way out. They would have eventually, well, I don't know. Depends on how Indiana works on there. I don't believe that anyone had these photos up until recently, though. Like, up until they were taken by Mitch Westerman. I don't believe that at all myself, because they would have surfaced at some point. They would have. People couldn't keep their word if their life depended on it. Even the best people, have a hard time with that shit. Okay? Everyone. And there's just some people that freaking pass things around left, right, and center regardless on there. The picture of the shoe in the river were real. Yeah, those are real. Yeah. Those are different pictures though. That's from a different person. Yeah. So, I've never seen anything else to show otherwise to files or more pictures. Doesn't mean they're not there. It's just that, you know, you just know how people work after a while, especially certain creators. You just know how they do it, right? They put them around to their group. At first it's like no, 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 and then they eventually get them. Just it's the way it is. Yeah. But anyways, so all I'm saying is, you guys right here, if you guys can make horns out of this, or antlers, okay, that this is what you're working with right there. So if you can use your biggest imagination, because like I said, this stick over here, it literally just crosses the bigger stick. There's no freaking other little sticks coming across it. They're just sticks laying on the ground. This one just happens to be laying across the ponytail a little bit. That's about it. That's really it. So you can make your conclusion on that, whether you believe that some horns are coming out of Abby's head or some whatever. I'm just a truth finder, truth seeker, justice for the girls, first and foremost. That will always be the case. Um, I just, there's so many people, I think, that have been curious like myself, that go, hey, was there horns? I haven't seen the pictures. Well, I'm giving you the image above Abby's head. This is what you'd have to try to make, knowing that this stick here and this stick here are off of the bigger sticks, like meaning they're part of the bigger sticks in a sense. So so out of this area here, right here, you would have to try to come up with some antlers or some horns. Yeah, didn't happen. Okay, so that's coming off the string now. On there. Mm-hmm. I don't think everyone needs to know everything, and stuff like that. There's so many people that have these pictures, and for me, it's kind of like one of those things. Yeah, okay, I've seen them. Um, at first, it was just like the top, basically what I'm telling you right there, because that's all I wanted to see. But I needed to know if there was more things around the crime scene, not the girls, you know. But I can tell you that I thought it was going to be way worse than what I saw, compared to what was being said by Doug Carter and stuff like that. So me and Alexa always had this debate, because Alexa said, well, Sonny, like, I honestly don't think it's as bad as whatever. And I'm like, Alexa, but Doug Carter, they wouldn't say that unless it was whatever. I'm thinking that, of course, it's not no murder site is a good site. But I'll tell you, like, it's not, you can see way worse things. So I'm thinking that Alexa was right about that. And, well, simply that I think that she was right about that. But I was going based upon the face that Doug Carter was making and how they kept describing it and stuff. And I'm not saying that there's not more, you guys. We're just talking about 4 pictures, okay? Good night, Diana. And thank you so much. I'm just going to stick something on screen just to put something on screen. We'll put this back up again. We'll share that. Oh, my husband probably wants to go to bed, I suppose. Anyways, maybe, hopefully, for some of you, you can just kind of stare at that, come back to the live, or unless you grabbed a screenshot of it, and then just stare at the picture yourself and decide for yourself. Do you see anything antlers? Because that's the biggest spot you're going to get, right? That's what I just gave you. So if you can make any antlers out of that, or any horns, All the power to you, you know, but just take the bigger sticks out of the equation because that's not part of it. So when you're looking at true crime design, you know, the one that's like watercolors, those little antlers that are coming off the, just take that out of the equation. Nothing looks like that. Alexa said that, so I kept saying, like, Alexa, the crime scene. Like, I was just I was just picturing this fucking crazy cuckoo uh non-secular thing. Was what we heard was like a shrine. I was picturing freaking some freaking what looked like knives stabbed into the ground, and whoever said that was a bunny and stuff like that. You know, this is just based off that. So I was picturing just a, you know, just a crazy kind of scene. Different. Abby looks peaceful. Libby, not so much. Obviously, you guys can read the 136-page memorandum to know exactly that Libby didn't have, but there wasn't all these leaves or nothing like that. So did they blow off? Who knows? Um, yeah. But anyways, the point was for that is that if you have something in front of you, you can determine it for yourself if you think those were antlers or horns there. And then you can go back to that memorandum and go, yeah, where did they get that from? Okay. But look at it all. Go look at that F tree again. You know, does it really look like enough? Or is it that it just looks like enough because you know, if you throw sticks up in the air and they land in the form of a star, well, that's what you're going to imagine. You look up at a cloud in the sky and you go, dang, that one looks like a freaking little pig or something like that up in the sky. You know, somebody else could look and go, oh, it doesn't look like a pig. It looks more like a duck. But that F tree, it's not really a clear F tree. It looks like it in a sense by first visual looking at it. You're just going to kind of go, oh, it looks like an F, like anyone would do. Looks like an F. That would be the association from the brain to the eye to what you're seeing. But if you truly look at that F tree and zoom in on it, you know, there's other blood splatter. So you can't just pick apart here like there's blood splatter here and this F doesn't really connect in the middle, but there's a dot there. So it may, and because this one line does that kind of thing, you know, and then think about the runes. Did it say Odin? Absolutely not. Can an Odinist tell you that those runes, or you looking at runes yourself for Odinism? None of it matched. The only thing you could try to make your figment of your imagination believe is that, well, hey, if I believe that this is an F, then definitely I kind of believe that that's an asterisk too. Oh, but wait, Libby has sticks on her, but yet an Odinist would be able to tell you what they stood for. This isn't someone that's trying to be an Odinist to me, you know. Maybe somebody like this doesn't seem like somebody. Trust me, there would have been something right about that crime scene if someone was even into Odinism or even trying to learn it. Pretty sure they would at least know how to put one rune together. You know, you can't even sit there and say that that's an asterisk. You know, to be honest with you, you can go, yeah, like the way it's placed, okay, yeah, I got an asterisk out of that. But the way that they had it was like, oh, well, we're going to go to the Ethark and we're going to go to the the elder and the younger. And we're going to, but if you look at that, there's nothing, they can't literally say what Odin is because they goofed up and they fucked up by saying it said Odin. Hail, they're trying to get from the asterisk. And they can't get shit off of Libby because they have no fucking idea. Any person that's even close to ritualistic shit from Odinism would be able to tell you. But they can't. Why? Because it's horseshit. That's exactly what it is horseshit. And they're trying to say that some guy named Brad Holder is a dumbass, wouldn't take anything off of his Facebook that he had something to do with these girls' murder. There's no placing him there. But because this person that said that they spit on the girls and could justify it and said that they whatever to his sister. Well, of course, right? Like there's to me there's a probably a ton of these people. I mean, look at Chris Mathis's neck, runes, right? Odin runes, right? Look at Brad Holder, Odin runes. Look at Nick Edwards, Odin runes. I'm sure there's a shitload of those Odinists in there, in that whole area. That's what it looks like to me, and probably the your other people in there, of course. But I think Odinism is quite. I think it's quite a big thing, to be honest with you, around that part of Indiana for sure. That's what it seems like. But Brad Holder, those runes. If you look at it really from at least an angle, right? You can still believe it's Odin runes if you want. I mean, right? Could be totally wrong, but why wouldn't it represent something? But if you take that out and you realize that what they planted in your head and what you believe, because you're trying to probably believe that the F and the asterisk means something, so there has to be something there. Well, yeah, if they truly meant that that was an asterisk and an F. But that's what they planted that seed there for, of course, because again, it was just that's why he called it a work of art. Okay? Because that to me, this is my opinion. Exactly. Human brain finds a pattern. To me, that whole like this is a work of art. I think who was it that said that, Ivy? Was it David Hennessy about the work of art? I believe. Okay. Right. Damn straight it was a work of art because they managed to take from point A, go to this, to this, to this, and go, oh, well, Elvis guy was trying to look like he was, he somehow was the friend or whatever of Holder. Wait, Holder is into Odinism, but there's nothing about the crime scene that says Odinism to it. It might say, yeah, I placed sticks there and tried to make it somehow look real ritualistic. That I can buy. That I could buy. Absolutely. I can buy that they weren't just thrown on the girls. Absolutely. But they can't sit there and say that an F tree is Odin and be completely wrong and still like perpetuate the fact that it's like an F. They can do that if they want, you know. But again, a skeptic will look at the whole picture, right? Which everyone should be doing, and then just kind of go, well, does that make sense? Does that really make the most sense? Or does it make the most sense that somebody admitted to being on the bridge that day at the time of the day, that the only girls that saw a guy there that day was the guy on the bridge, Richard, like, well, we'll just say Richard Allen, which is the person that admitted to being there. Okay, then he changes his time and shit like that. Trust me, that's going to come back down to his car being seen on video footage, because we know that they didn't totally fuck up this case. There has to be some good, I'm sure there's some good shit in there. I'm hoping. I was hoping that was Suzanne Morphew, and then they freaking let me down the prosecution with her case, because I remember watching that going, is this the best shit you got? Really? This is what you think that they're going to literally freaking charge this guy with murder? Like, really? No wonder they had to back off of that. What they had was freaking weak. So hopefully they have DNA. Hopefully they have the cameras to show Richard Allen is there from this time to this time. You know, we know that we've heard Black, a 20-year-old in this. That stuff sticks in my head because I'm like, shit, they better have some smoking arse evidence to put him to like kidnapping or whatever, because there's so much contradiction from the start about the bridge guy, the height, the color of the hair, facial hair, non-facial hair. They had, I mean, look how long they had it on the ISP site, guys, with the wrong freaking description then. Like, what the fuck, right? At least we know Devil's Happy Yard pics were not there. No. They are the real scene. Nope, no. They are the real scene. That's absolutely the real scene. I compared the other day. Yesterday? Like last night. I compared Libby's face to the face that that I was getting out of the picture he took, same thing. Same thing. That is the place. It's just obviously, unless something shows me different, obviously, maybe this, like I said, I wasn't into photography or anything like that before I started, but after doing it for 2 years. So if I have to come to the conclusion that everything that I thought I saw was not there, then that means I fucking suck at photography that way, because I don't know anything about pixelation. I know things pixelate, but meaning if something's clearly standing out to me, like I'm not talking about in the knife thing. I'm talking about like these, I don't know, like these daggery type of knives or whatever. So if none of that comes to fruition, that will just mean that fucking me and pixelation don't understand each other, obviously. Because I don't know. I mean, they freaking said that there's a freaking bear there, but I don't know. I definitely in that picture, you guys, I want to say this. Definitely in that picture, I can legitly make out the guy wearing a baseball hat taking pictures. I can make him out almost like clear as day. That showing you guys that, even though I don't know, it's somewhere in the mix. Like you guys would like, someone that's taking pictures of the crime scene. I could get that out of it. That was probably one of the easier things to get out of it, to be honest with you. So it's not that the crime scenes weren't, it's just a matter of how footage changes, because when you manipulate it, and that's why I went back and I grabbed my own pictures, and I still came up with like the same stuff pretty much, right? But just a little bit different angle. But it just shows that then obviously I'm clueless about pixelation and shit. But I need to see in the future, when hopefully we get to understand this case a lot more, and for the motives, for the reasons, and what was truly all there. That's when I'll concede that me and pictures and can do so much, but if you over pixelate too much, then you start getting these images that aren't necessarily there, but you think that they're there. So I need to see that before I can completely go, Sonny, you fucking suck and you didn't get any pictures right. I'll be okay with that. I'll be okay with that if it means, well, internally I'm lying. Internally I feel like fuck me. I'm not a careless person, you know. But this definitely would has been a learning experience, this case. Um with a lot of things, because I never was into true crime, you know, Suzanne Morphew, but that was just more about following facts, not about crime scene like that and stuff like that. I'm just glad as a person I grew, and I'm so willing to admit, hey, if I suck and I called out someone I shouldn't have from whatever, I don't give a fuck what anybody else did. That's what I did. And if there's ends up being freaking no freaking mask or freaking rabbit or whatever stuffed animal there, so be it. Okay. I'll move on. I'll live with it. There's some people that will rub salt in it as if they're fucking like the peach of life and stuff. And whatever. I don't care. As long as I'm okay with myself, you know? And if I don't do something, and I have no problem saying, fuck. Yeah, messed up. I was wrong. As long as you're willing to do that. It's when you stick to something and you don't, no matter what. I mean, I was never cocky about it, even though it might have come off arrogant to some of the people along the way, because I was like, I'm right. No, 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 you guys don't understand. Because I literally, like, I guess some other people, I totally believe that, in my regular life, I'm just a very level headed person. I think logically. I might joke around and stuff like that, but I think logically. I try to think of the different things, and I really thought that I was doing my due diligence. Well, that humble pied me on that, right? It's Richard Allen for sure. I don't sit there and go, oh, it's Keegan Dunker still and stuff like that. Just a bunch of humble pie, really. But in my head, I'm going, really? Not only could I not get the BG right, but then I couldn't get shit all right from the crime scene either. Huh. you know. So that will teach me for trying to look at like crime scene photos then from a freaking helicopter footage and stuff like that. And that's what it will teach me. In small town Indiana, walk softly and carry a big gun. Now bedtime. Good night. Yeah, you know what? Oh, we're at the 4 hour mark. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Tomorrow night we'll be live. I'm not sure. It depends. It might be Delphi and Rex Hewerman tomorrow night. Anyways, the thumbnail will show it. Either way, we'll be live tomorrow night. Okay, sorry. Just a message was coming in from the side. My husband saying he needs to go to bed. Okay, and so wait, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, and Thursday. Thursday will be your guys' Thanksgiving, so we will do that. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the live tonight, and the side chat to go with it. So you guys take care, and thanks for anyone that donated tonight as well. Appreciate that, and yeah, have a good night, guys. Take care. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.